All right. Hey, welcome everybody to another morning edition of the BD Boxing Podcast. Happy Friday to everybody out there, and a good morning to all of you out there listening here. The aim of this show, the intent of this show is to get you through the morning so you don't have to go for la bolsita or Blancanieves. No. Cup of coffee, cup of tea, orange juice, whatever gets you through the morning. That's what you need, and what you need is a little BD Boxing right now. And what I need is I need this Nakatani Inoue to start already, man. Good gracious. We had the weigh-in yesterday at around midnight, further fanning the flames, getting us into anticipation for this match. So we're going to talk about all of that, a little bit more of the David Benavidez versus Ramirez fight, and a whole bunch of news, let me tell you, a whole bunch of talking, enjoying on Twitter as per usual, and we're going to cover all of that for you. But before we get down to the fun, let's get the business out of the way, fellas. You know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of shekels our way, you're certainly welcome to do so via the Super Chat feature. You can also donate via the Buy Me a Coffee app, link in the description below. You can donate and join via Patreon. You can also join Patreon for free. We got free film studies regarding Nakatani, Inoue, and of course Benavidez versus Ramirez, so you can go check those out at your leisure. You can also join the membership program. That way you get more bang for your buck. But the most important thing is you continue to like, you subscribe, and you spread that BDA gospel. Speaking of the gospel, shout out to everybody out there. Talking about Langsbury, Skull Kid, JJ, Quicksloth, Langsbury, Two Matador, Grim Reaper, Sid Boxing, FU. Who else we get here? Earl Stevens, shout out to Earl. Shout out to Earl Stevens, and Jaime Raiden, and the one. And the one is saying Nakatani and Zurdo gonna shock the world this weekend. Well, remains to be seen. I mean, shout out to more BDC as well. Shout out to him coming in here. Listen, we all like upsets. Upsets make the boxing world turn and roll, shake and bake, rock and roll. But is it really gonna happen? I don't know. Let me tell you, the more this fight, the nearer this Inoue and Nakatani fight gets closer, the more I start thinking, I don't know, Inoue, he's just, Inoue is that guy, as I like to say nowadays. He's the guy that has proven you can throw any style at him, a little bit of that's going to stick on him, but he's going to just, I don't know, use some sort of a detergent or whatever he needs to get rid of that stickiness and come out on top, nice and clean. So undefeated for a reason, and he has a lot of intangibles on his side, for lack of a better term. He's got the speed, he's got the power, he's got the tenacity, the wherewithal, the resolve. Maybe the chin, somebody talked about that on Monday, I want to say, in the chat. I was saying that Inoue is chinny. So, I mean, he has been dropped. He has been dropped, and he was stunned by Donaire. Now, granted, a lot of those dudes that were able to do that were punchers, and that was a big debate about whether Cardenas is actually a big puncher. But I mean, I guess, listen, Nakatani's been a proven puncher at the lower weights. Let's see if he can crack a 122 against Inoue. Very excited for that. Now, I'm prevaricating here a little bit, just a little bit, because I'm looking for clips here of the weigh-in. We had the weigh-in yesterday, so here's a picture of said weigh-in. Hold on a second. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. Hey, how come I can't see the... Okay. So here we have the weigh-in, both guys looking lean and mean. Somebody in the comment section of this tweet was saying that Nakatani is looking a little bit more solid compared to how he looked against Sebastian Hernandez last December. Now, for those of you wondering, Inoue weighed in at 121.9 pounds. Nakatani weighed in at 122.4 pounds, or thereabouts. So they're looking, like I said, lean and mean. Lean and mean. Now, interestingly enough, I did have a video here of the weigh-in, and I don't have it anymore. What the heck happened? Links are disappearing. That's part of the game, I suppose. Actually, you know what? Let me go get it. It's in the Discord here somewhere. Somebody posted it. Oh, yeah, we got more. I mean, I don't want this to turn into the Canelo show, but they've announced that he's going to be fighting on September against Christian and Billy. I guess that was the one that a lot of people were talking about. Now, some people are accusing him of trying to steal Benavidez' shine. I'm thinking, well, what shine? What shine is there? Okay, here we go. What is that music, by the way? It sounds like some sort of industrial beat there. But, yeah, you can see This is the first thing you would notice upon watching this clip here is that Nakatani, and I don't know if he's wearing sneakers. We can't see the feet in this video, but he has a good two and a half inches maybe on Inoue. Substantial height advantage, I don't know, but he certainly has it. And it looks as if the reach is about the same, thereabouts. Maybe Nakatani has it slightly longer, but let me tell you, this is going to be interesting because, and I've said it all throughout fight week, Nakatani has a couple of things that he brings together that other Inoue opponents have brought into this game, but he's got it all together. So he has the height of a Picasso, he has the left hand of a Neri or thereabouts, maybe MJ Akhmedaliev, more like it, and he has the range and control of but again, maybe an MJ Akhmedaliev. I mean, I'm telling you, this dude brings it. He's a problem. And again, throw the Sebastian Hernandez fight out the way. I was rewatching that fight, by the way, and again, I was just reminded of how Nakatani let his hands go throughout that fight. He just let him go. He never gave up. And statistically, the fight was very similar to Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda. So a lot of people give Shakur Stevenson credit for that fight, but when it comes to Nakatani, it's like, oh, he got exposed. He couldn't adapt, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, I don't know, he showed grit in that one. He showed plenty of grit. So I guess I'm looking at the glass half full in this instance. Shout out to everybody out there, people joining us. Rumors of Murataya fighting Shabord Sleepison, says Skull Kid. Who else we got here? Salute BDA, says Koki. The Turk, shout out to the Turk. Solotso, good with a knife. He says, good call doing a morning show. Too early for the J-Cats. The J-Cats, I don't know what he's talking about. JJ says, Nakatani lost his last fight. Well, there you go. See, some people believe he lost his last fight. God bless you and Sobi. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Sobers. I don't even know if he's awake this time. Shout out to Food TV. He's awake, and he says, wake and bake with the BDA. Well, there you go. Shout out to Food TV. Everybody go check out the real Food TV. There's only one. Two Matador says Benavidez got no shame. Canelo, I don't know if he did it on purpose to piss Benavidez off because it is curious timing. But anyway, don't want to talk about that too much right now. We got a big fight coming up tomorrow. Also, by the way, Takuma Inoue, who's going to be fighting Kazuto Yoka at 118 pounds. Yoka, the legendary fighter, moving up for perhaps one last shot at the title. He's moving up to bantamweight this time. And Inoue, that is Takuma Inoue, weighed in at 117 pounds, 117.7 pounds, whereas Yoka weighed in at 117.9 pounds. So right at the limit, almost there. By the way, I like in Yoka in this one. I know Inoue beat that kickboxer last time around, who ended up beating up Juan Francisco Estrada in his last fight. But I don't know, Yoka, he looked good against Martinez in the rematch, El Pumita Martinez. Now you can see the difference between an old trail horse at this point, like Yoka and Bam Rodriguez. Bam just too fresh, too strong at this point. He ran through Pumita Martinez. But Yoka did very well in that rematch. And he's got Ismael Salas in his corner, the magician, the black magician in there. So we're going to see what happens. Can Yoka pull off an upset? Very interesting. Very interesting to see that. As it pertains to the Nakatani fight, well, Nakatani's been doing some talking here. This fight, by the way, has set Japan alight. Apparently, I was reading a Fox International Sports article, and they were saying that this fight is transcending the sport over there in Japan, appealing to women and children, not just adults over there. So, yes, indeed, lest you think that this is a fight that only was going to appeal to hardcore fans in Japan. Of course, we already knew not so because it sold out at the Tokyo Dome almost right off the bat as soon as tickets went on sale, I believe. So, yeah, this fight, it's a big deal over there in Japan, as it should be. As it should be. Two big punchers coming together, undefeated on top of that. Who doesn't like two pound-for-pound undefeated fighters getting in there, and who can crack on top of that? Now we all need... all we need now is for the fight to be boring. Yeesh. All right, but... Nakatani is talking as if he's bringing it. He's coming here for war. He says, check this out. Well, I think I already showed this. I think I already played this here. No, wait a minute. Hold on. I mean, not played it, but show this. Nakatani is bringing and embracing violence ahead of his clash against Naoya Inoue. He says this fight will 100% be a war, and I think I will win by a decision after I overcome everything Inoue throws my way. So that's interesting right there because, Japanese fighters tend to be a little bit more on the silent side, but apparently these two have found an edge to it because it is a big Japanese rivalry. These two guys have been on a collision course for about the past 2-3 years, and so it stands to reason that their competitive juices are flowing at this point. Now, interestingly enough, Rudy Hernandez has been talking knockout and aggression coming into this fight. He's saying we're going to go in there with the intention of kicking his behind, his badoink, his. Hold on a second. He's going to kick. It's a morning show. I can't curse here. He's going to kick his. That's what he's going to kick. He's going to it. He's going to it up. Something nasty. See, morning show. I'm keeping it clean. The board of directors can't come down on me like they did the last time. But yeah, interestingly enough, Rudy Hernandez is talking a lot. He's also being asked about pound for pound. And he says, I'm not taking anything away from Terence Crawford or Alexander Usyk, who I consider really great fighters too. But Inoue fights by far more than they do. Why can't he be number one? Why isn't he number one pound for pound fighter in the world? Maybe because he doesn't live in America or he's not American? Okay, so he's asking whether, sort of is painting the picture that maybe because Inoue and Nakatani aren't American, they're not getting the shine that they deserve. But look, Inoue has been getting plenty of shine. I guess the criticism here is that he's not number one pound for pound, but that's really, grasping at straws. Between Usyk and Inoue, you could have either one number one. I personally have Usyk number one right now just because of the body of work and the size of the bodies that he's been taking on. But I mean, I wouldn't argue if anybody had Inoue up there. And Usyk is an American and he's number one, so that throws. And you know me, I do think there's a bit of an American bias in the media, in the boxing media. But I think in this scenario, I think Rudy Hernandez might be getting it a little bit wrong, a little bit. He says, now this is the interesting part. He says we're gonna go in there with the intention of kicking his ass, right? It ain't personal. He says at the end of the day, we want to kick his. We want to make sure he gets knocked the out and gets up after 10 seconds. I want him to get up at 11 seconds. Whoa. Very very precise with his timing, what he's talking about. Just as precise as I am with my timing on the censor button. Now, again, do you guys believe this, by the way? Do you think they're really looking for the knockout? Or is this just the type of talk that you expect before a big fight? Because, I've said it before. 2 examples from 2001 where a fighter says he's going to do something and then he does the complete opposite, and it turned out that he didn't change plans because he had to or whatever. It's because that was always the plan, to throw a curveball at his opponent pre-fight. And I'm talking about Barrera versus Hamed, where a lot of people thought that, and this is a quote from De La Hoya, and again, I got to find that preview, that pre-fight preview that they had for the Hamed Barrera fight, but I believe De La Hoya said that Hamed was 3-dimensional, that he could fight 3 ways and Barrera could only fight 1 way. Well, Barrera went into that fight telling everybody, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to make it a dog fight. I'm going to make it, it's going to be like the Morales fight again. And what did he do? He outboxed Hamed. It was all a ruse. Bernard Hopkins that same year when he fought Trinidad said, I'm going to make it an alley fight. I'm going to go in there. People were asking him, what happens if Trinidad hits you low? He's like, nah, screw that. I'm going to hit him low first. So he was talking about he's going to make it a back alley dog fight. And what did he do once he went in there? He boxed off the back foot. So I don't know if this is all just a plan from Rudy Hernandez saying, yeah, we're going to go there, we're going to bring it, we're going to look for the knockout. And then it may very well turn out to be that they are looking for the knockout, but maybe they're looking at the knockout from afar, making Inoue come at him first. And that's the thing that I've been wrestling with in the build-up to this fight. Is Nakatani going to try to push the pace a little bit more, maybe try to go at Inoue, or is he going to stand back and let Inoue come to him and try to catch him with that counter left of his? Especially those counter left uppercuts, those seem to be gold right there for him. And they've been proven to be gold so far in his career. But can he get that through against Naoya Inoue? Now, Bucho had told me, and I think he's talked about it on the show too, that he thinks Nakatani can't stand back and let Inoue think. He has to go get it. He has to go make the fight happen. He has to trade with Inoue, which is insane. But, Bucho likes it when guys take risks. And so... But I do think there might be a little bit something to that, and we're gonna look at that later on when we see what Nonito Donaire has been saying about this fight. Nonito Donaire, of course, losing twice to Inoue, but gave him hell in the first fight back in 2019. But yeah, I'm thinking about maybe Nakatani. Maybe there is something to the effect of Nakatani going forward and trying to make the fight against Inoue. Because look, we've seen guys try to outbox Inoue and it doesn't work. But sometimes he will stand still there, put up the earmuffs, and give his opponents a chance to throw. Then again, there's other points where he just stands on the ropes and does his best James Toney impersonation. He's impressively and underratedly slick, I might say. I hate to use the word slick. I prefer to say elusive, but I think in this point I'm going to make an exception for all Inoue. What are people in the chat saying? Let's see here. Hold on a second. We got Skull Kid saying both Floyd and Broner are broke. What is he talking about, those guys? Langsberg says, geez, Donaire's KO in the second Inoue fight was nasty. It sure was, man, and it was quite something to behold. Boxing Lounge says, the art of war. JJ says, Nakatani looks half black there, so he definitely got a chance. What is he talking about? King Bucho says, fire, fire. Two Matador says, Junto got a gift on his last outing. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. Sergeant says, Hernandez is lying. He's a liar. There you go. Joker's Wild says, I haven't seen much of Junto's fight. What's the matter with you? You get a chance right now to catch up on that. You get a chance to cram before the big test, let me tell you. Food TV says, Floyd is human. People talking. Well, apparently the IRS took away his passport or something. Do they actually have the right to do that? Or maybe I'm getting it wrong. Food TV says, Floyd is human trash. The dude didn't even help his friend Broner by giving him a fake fight. You know what? That's an interesting point right there. Skull Kid says, that's going to be a good fight. Fu says, who doesn't like to see top-level guys banging each other out? Whoa, banging. Gotta mute, censor that one. Sergeant says, Inoue is not going to war. Well, I hope he does. Sergeant says, Yoka looks better in rematches. The Turk says, J-Cat equals crazy people. I was referring to Chomo Bag. Oh, it's talking about... yeah, a lot of... We had some complaints about No Name Hero, Body Bag Hero. No, what's his name? No Name Hero, that was his initial name. Now it's Body Bag, whatever. Yeah, some people didn't really like his style, but... I don't know. I felt like we needed to spice it up a little bit. But listen, input taken. And we'll see if it works out better when he's on Open Lines Friday. Fu says, I didn't know that. Thanks for the info. Pimped and Slick Blackback says, Benavidez hater talking about how he got no shine. Yo, N-words gay. Is he supposed to be oiled up like P. Diddy? Well, I don't know. You brought up the oil in the Diddy. Nobody brought that up. King Butcher says, just let us know if you are planning a trip. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what they told him. Ooh, you don't want to hear that from the feds, let me tell you. Better get himself a good lawyer, like my friend, attorney, and mentor, Rayfield Shapiro. Gets the job done every time. Call Rayfield Shapiro. Now, what else we got here? All right, so this is an article from Fox Sports, and I thought it was Fox Sports International. But it says, Nakatani, a rising star in the golden age of Japanese boxing, is determined to knock out Inoue. So Nakatani is the one talking knockout on top of that. It's not just Rudy Hernandez saying, let's go kick some behind. Nakatani said about Inoue, he's an athlete who has everything. He has outstanding boxing skills, and also he's hard to beat. No kidding, I didn't know that. But even then, there are possibilities. That's a very cryptic message there. But even then, there are possibilities. Nakatani said of Inoue, vowing to beat him by knockout, according to this article. Although they didn't present a quote. Also here it says, the buzz is spreading to a fan base previously not associated with boxing in Japan, like women and children. So there you go. This fight is getting some shine over there in Japan with the Japanese as, what's his name? Jesse, what was his name? The Afro-Anglo dude that was always talking about amazing. What's his last name? Jesse Lee Peterson, right? That was his name? The Japanese. Now, here's a clip of Nakatani sparring. Now, this came out a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's just, I think it's interesting to let us know what type of shape Nakatani is looking at. And now, of course, again, these are just snippets, a 15-second clip here of Nakatani sparring, but he's looking sharp. Look at that uppercut, man. just timed it perfectly. Now he didn't seem to get much pop in there. It seemed like it's just to catch him. I mean, first of all, like I always say with the uppercuts, doesn't need to be thrown that hard for it to hurt, physically hurt, because it's coming from a downward angle. But if you really want to knock out a guy, you got to put your hips into it. And it seems here that it was just thrown with the intent of catching his opponent. Then he follows it up with a left to the body. So he's playing around with that left hand. I will say that Nakatani's right hook leaves a little bit to be desired. He can catch guys coming in with the right hook and turn them, that check left right hook, but it's not as potent as his left hand, and that's where that's the onion in the ointment for him, because Inoue can crack with both hands. We've seen it. Whether it's the straight right, he can drop people with that. The left hook to the body, uppercuts. So Nakatani might be slightly outgunned in this one, but nevertheless, he's got that left hand, which has proven to be a bit of an annoyance to Naoya Inoue in the last, in about, 3 of his last 5 fights? So it could get dicey in there for him. Now, so another article here. This is from Boxing Scene, and this is from the press conference where Naoya Inoue showed up looking like he's going to a funeral. And I don't know if he's trying to send a message like, hey, I'm sending someone to the netherworld. And he says, I've dedicated my life to getting this far. I want to engrave my fighting spirit in your memory. Oh, imagine he's saying that. I want to ingrain this fight into your DNA, meaning you're going to be traumatized. I think there will be a lot of fans coming to see a fight for the first time, he says. I want to show them the excitement and greatness of boxing and how much energy it naturally generates when tough fighters compete. I want to prove, he said, now this is interesting, I want to prove that I'm still Naoya Inoue. So it seems as if he's coming in here with something to prove. I'm still Naoya Inoue. Like, who said he wasn't, right? But maybe he's heard a little bit of the criticism. Maybe people are talking about him slowing down a little bit. Maybe they're talking about how he's been dropped a couple of times. And he's saying, you know what? You suckers. I'm actually still Naoya Inoue. What are people in the chat saying? Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. If you really enjoyed this show, hit the like, subscribe if you yet to do so already. B. Wayne said that was hard as there you go. Skull Kid says I'm excited for the fight. Langsbury says, anyone catch Teramawanas nasty KO? He fought again? Maybe okay, that's why I saw him. I was watching clips of him on Twitter, or people were posting a clip of him of his on Twitter. I thought it was an old fight. I didn't know he'd fought again. Butcher says, hit the like 2052. What the hell does that mean, 2052? Butcher speaking in quotes now. Grim Reaper says, I was listening to the replay. Is that guy with the 15-year-old girlfriend? He's talking about body bag. Butcher says, yeah, they don't want Floyd to leave the country. Let me tell you, that's interesting right there. Now, you know what's interesting too is I was going to do that comparative analysis here by myself for Nakatani Inoue, because we did one for Benavidez versus Ramirez. But then I started thinking, do I really want to do a comparative analysis? I mean, is it really worth it? Because I don't think, hold on, let me see if I'm going to put it up here. Am I still on sound here? Yes, I am. Okay, so if you look at the Nakatani thing here, okay, first of all, let me erase these circles because those were for Surdo versus Benavidez here. Hold on a second. Okay, so you got speed, power, ring, IQ. Actually, that should be the first one. No, actually, that was all right. Yeah. So speed, I mean, I would give it to Inoue. Power, Inoue. Although not by that much, because again, Nakatani can't crack with the left hand. Ring IQ, I would give it the edge to Inoue. Experience, you gotta give it to Inoue. Footwork, I would give it to Inoue because he's got more bounce on that footwork, whereas Nakatani tends to drag his feet a little bit more. And if you rewatch that RG Cortez fight, there are times where he's literally just trying to get the hell out of the way after a pivot and he's running away. And I'm thinking, come on, you don't need to do that. I dare say Tapales has superior footwork than Nakatani's. Resistance, maybe about even. Stamina, I would give it to Inoue. So you can see that it was. That's why I wasn't really going to spend too much time on this one, because I mean, a lot of these are Inoue is one, if not the best fighter in the world, at worst number 2, and that is exceptional. So I don't think he's going to be losing too many categories here. Mental strength, I mean, Nakatani did show mental strength against Hernandez, but Inoue has just shown it more often. I mean, that Donaire fight where he got a fractured orbital and still kept on fighting, That shows it right there. Then when it comes to precision, I will say Nakatani is pretty precise. So I suppose somebody could make the argument that maybe it should go to him. Jab has to go to Inoue. It's just a stiffer jab. Although Nakatani is pretty good, but he tends to slap a little bit with it. Rear hand, again, Inoue, hooks Inoue, uppercut Inoue, bodywork Inoue, although Nakatani's bodywork is pretty good too. He was hitting, Cortez, RG Cortez, with some nasty body shots. Just nasty. Corner, I mean, this one could get dicey because it's Rudy Hernandez versus Inoue's father, who's pretty good. I mean, look at what he's done with Takuma Inoue, who doesn't have anywhere near the gifts, the physical gifts that his brother Naoya has. And nevertheless, he's managed to get him pretty far in this 115, 118 pound division. So, has he fought 115 pounds? I forget. But anyway, this one could be even. And then cuts. Inoue has been cut. I think Nakatani has as well. I don't remember, man. But yeah, so you get the gist of it. I mean, I wasn't going to spend too much time on that one. I did it solo here, and I did it a cappella, baby. Now, but the other thing I wanted to talk about was that I was really focusing on a lot of Nakatani fights, specifically the RG Cortez fight, the Sebastian Hernandez fight. Then I started watching some of the fights that I sort of failed to rewatch. Oh, the Maloney fight, of course, that was one that I rewatched a lot. But for example, the Francisco Rodriguez fight, that's everyone talks about the Sebastian Hernandez fight, but Francisco Rodriguez was a very aggressive fighter. They gave him it turned into a sloppy fight. A lot of clinching, a lot of overshooting the distance from both guys. I was watching the Angel Acosta fight. That's the one where Acosta managed to stun Nakatani before Nakatani proceeded to beat the crap out of him. But that was all the way back in 2021. So different Nakatani for sure. The Santiago fight, well, he just butchered him in about 4 rounds. Astrolabio, by the way, Astrolabio had beaten Guillermo Rigondeaux. Then he lost a close decision to Jason Maloney. Jason, not Andrew Maloney, Jason Maloney. And Nakatani went in there and stopped him in under a round. So that's when he was looking like a beast. He beat the crap out of Salapat as well. Contreras, David Cuellar Contreras, tall guy. And Nakatani also destroyed him. So you're starting to see a pattern of destruction there from Nakatani. And then he beat the crap out of Nishida too. Although Nishida gave him a good fight, but Nishida just couldn't crack. Just no pump on his shots. And ended up getting his face all busted up. And that's how they stopped it. And then, of course, the Hernandez fight, which Nakatani proceeded to struggle in. But it's a pretty good run. Obviously not as good as Inoue's. But it's the resume and dossier of a guy who belongs in there against Naoya Inoue. That's for sure. Now, Ramon Cardenas, however you pronounce it, who fought Inoue and dropped him. And it's interesting. I rewatched that entire fight, and it was pretty competitive for 3 rounds. And then after Inoue got dropped, I mean, yeah, Cardenas had a little bit more success, continued to have a little success in the 3rd. But then it was all Inoue, and I'm saying all Inoue. He dumped. Like, if you would have just started watching the fight in the 3rd round, you would have thought, man, this guy, Inoue, really fantastic performance, but really beat the crap out of him. But the fact he got dropped really soiled that performance. But it was all Inoue after the 3rd round. He really, and it's interesting because Cardenas, well, let me show you what he said first. First of all, look at this little tweet here. I bet everybody wants to know my real opinion on Inoue versus Nakatani, huh? Why is he being so sassy? I don't get it. He's being very, he's got a little moxie in it. He's like, you want to know, huh? Bet you ain't so tough now, huh? I was like, well, okay, why don't you just spill the beans, all right? Why don't you spill it out, Cardenas? Some people were even making fun of him in the comment section of that tweet, saying, look at this dude. His crowning achievement is dropping Inoue and then getting the crap beat out of him the following rounds. And now he's acting like he's hot stuff. No, but people were curious to hear what he had to say because he's been spending a lot of time sparring with Nakatani. So evidently he's the man to look for and ask as it pertains to an Inoue fight. So he did an interview, and I saw that somebody posted on Discord that he did a video interview. I didn't watch that one. I don't know if it's the same one here, but this is from Ring Magazine. And Cardenas had some interesting things to say. He says, Nakatani can't let Inoue control the pace, and with Junto's length, it could be hard to get into range. Junto is very good at using it. When I fought Inoue, I said going in that fight that I had to be perfect for 36 minutes, But for Junto, I feel that it could be a 50-50 fight. So he's giving Nakatani a very good fight. Seems like he's saying Nakatani has a better chance of beating Inoue than he has, than he had against the Japanese monster. So I don't know. What do you guys think? It's also interesting that he sort of concurs with Rudy Hernandez and Bucho's assessment that he can't let Inoue control the pace, meaning he has to get off first, which is dangerous because I don't know if you guys saw the film analysis that I did over at Patreon for free. Go check it out. Nakatani tends to do very well when it comes to countering, stepping in, stepping back. Very good feet, very good, kind of wide foot stance, but he manages to bounce on that left foot pretty well, on that back foot, excuse me, in order to counterattack and then get out of the way again. So very good in and out. Not quite the pendulum step that a lot of the Soviets bring, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. He's not bouncing around as much is what I'm saying, because you don't really need to bounce that much. Sometimes it's a little bit of overkill. And he's very good with that. 1-2, step back, left hand. Sometimes he'll circle around his opponent. That's his bread and butter, by the way. He'll circle around his opponent, and then he has them following him. And then once he has them following him, every once in a while he'll step, a little deception. He'll circle, plant his feet, and plant a mean uppercut. So if he starts doing that to Inoue, could get dicey for Inoue, because one of Inoue's weak points is actually pressuring opponents. He's a little bit like Manny Pacquiao. He closes the range with a 1-2 real quick. That's how he does it. He's not a Gennady Golovkin, Vasyl Lomachenko type fighter who or like a William Cepeda, for example, who works his way in slowly, inch by inch. He'll just jump in, paf, and maybe dig in a body shot or two and then get out of the way again. But he does so with his chin up. So it could be trouble there for Inoue. Anyway, Cardenas said then, you can tell that Inoue has worked on neutralizing that left hand, connecting on him ever since fighting me. So he's giving himself a little credit there too. Nair is also the guy that dropped Inoue, so it wasn't just Cardenas. So, but Cardenas is saying that ever since he fought Inoue, that was the wake-up call for Inoue. I'll bet you anything they're constantly, he says, drilling to keep the right hand tucked to the chin to not let that left hand go through. Which makes sense, by the way. Makes a whole lot of sense. He also refused to predict, because he says he wants to fight the winner, or that he might end up facing the winner. So he ended up absconding. Is that the word? Let me Google it. Anyway, he refused to give a prediction. What the hell is the definition of absconding, by the way? Absconding is the act of leaving hurriedly and secretly to avoid detection. Well, I guess you could. I was close, I suppose. You can work that in there. Speaking of working in there, how about you work alike in there, fellas? Work alike in there, work a finger or two. Oh, wait a minute. That sounded dirty. Sounded too dirty for a morning show. Got to censor myself again. Hit the like, subscribe. Yet to do so already. Go check out the film analysis we posted over at Patreon for free. Also, a Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez film analysis that you guys can check out. Make sure to do that. And who do we have here? Sergeant says, respect to Cardenas, ex-Uber driver. Why do people gotta... It's like with, what's his name, Padley. People always gotta bring up that he's an electrician. Two Matador says, Fredo Inoue, an overachiever. I'm telling you, this chat that we have here, you guys are horrible, you guys are vicious, and I want you to keep it up. Fredo. I'm smart and I deserve respect. Mikey, you're not coming to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that. Anyway, Sina Messia says Nakatani made Astrolabio poop his pants. Did he really? Oh man, that's gotta be embarrassing. That's doubly embarrassing. You get stopped within a round, and then on top of that, you crap your pants. Not good. More BDC says Benavidez looking winded at his media workout. Nah, get out of here. Really? I didn't see it, but I heard he was looking fast. And who was telling me that? Was it Carl? I think Carl, shout out to the Zufaru. I think he said that Benavidez usually puts on a good show when it comes to the open workouts. Not like those Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk workouts. Remember those? They come in, they do a little light shadow boxing, some stretching in front of everybody, and then they leave. It's like, what? Or Usyk shows up, does a little shadow boxing, then he starts playing around with a ball, starts playing around with his balls, starts dancing. Everyone's laughing. Everyone pretends it's funny to see him dance, and then he just leaves. Like, well, what do we show up for? Hit the pads a little bit with a little panache, and then we'll be good. Skull Kid says, I'm excited for the fights. Well, there you go. Don't get too excited, though. B. Wayne says, finger effing Sally. Iceman, shout out to the Iceman, says, Cardenas had Robert Garcia tell him how to do it. Interesting. Interesting. So that's what we've got here with that. And another fighter, another boxer throwing his 2 cents in here as it pertains to the Nakatani Inoue fight. And now we're talking about Kenshiro Taraji, who at some point was where Nakatani is right now. Well, actually, no, I don't think he was that high in the pound for pound list, but he was in a lot of people's top 10 pound for pound list. And he had this to say. He says, I think there's a chance Inoue could get dropped early on, but overall, I still see him winning. I'm not sure whether it ends in a knockout. When it's two Japanese fighters, the intensity tends to be higher, and they can fight it out on grit and make it to the end. So I'd lean towards Inoue by decision. So he's saying Inoue by decision, and you know what? It's not that far-fetched to see Nakatani make it the distance because there's Inoue, surprisingly enough, went the distance against Picasso. Yeah, a lot of us expected that he was going to work that long body of Picasso's and stop him. Also, Picasso quite inexperienced compared to Inoue's dossier. And yet, nevertheless, he managed to go the distance. And then prior to that, Inoue went the distance against MJ Akhmadaliev. So you're thinking, wait a minute, what's going on here? I mean, okay, I understand MJ Akhmadaliev. MJ's tough, strong, he hits hard. Inoue, maybe he didn't really want to go all out against him, although he did hit him. Rewatch that. I'm gonna play it actually because I'm really in awe a little bit of those body shots of Inoue. Inoue gave him a bit of a shellacking in there, and yet MJ took it. MJ took it. So that's 2 fights in a row from Inoue that he's gone the distance, and we weren't really accustomed to that because it used to be an accomplishment to go to the distance against Inoue. Now, all of a sudden, these guys are going the distance against him. I'm telling you, something's going on here. Maybe it's just guys are getting in extra good shape, facing Inoue. But maybe Nakatani can do it. And now I want to talk about those body shots as well, by the way. But first, let me just call a little someone here. All right. Now, so Kenshiro Taraji saying that Nakatani can go the distance. It should be, or it could turn out to be a close fight. We got special guest Never Sobers dropping in here. Sobers, are you there?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Hey man, let me tell you something. A lot of people, some people, not a lot of people, some people complained about Body Bag's appearance. I thought I thought it was pretty good. Well, what do you think? Honest opinion, was it a little bit too much? Did it get to be too much there with the back and forth?
I think I made him a little extra, right? Because of what I did, but
Little bit.
he was just being himself, right? So it
I
was
think
nothing I wasn't used to. If you know him, if you've interacted with him, you know that's how he is. He thought I had some kind of deep seated hate for him, and I told him, no, I don't have a problem with you. You know, you're just what's the word? He was just bucking up at me too much, so I had to sit him down. But yeah, I mean that's how he is. He's cool. I like the energy he brings.
So he showed up at the Discord later on, right?
Yes. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And what happened? Just like a long story short.
Yeah, I said like he thought that he's like, oh, you must have some deep seated hate for me to do that, and I said no, you're just bucking up at me too much, so chill. And he's like, yeah, whatever, and yeah, I think that's it. I think I think that's the end of that.
Okay, good. Hopefully he comes back because he's a perfect fit. I will say
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
He's a perfect fit for that Open Lines Friday. Or Open Lines anything, let me tell you. Open Lines anything. Now, I was going to play a little something here that you tend to light a fire under people's behinds a little bit. I think you would be the first to admit that. And I saw you posted something that now Telkines is going at you. Check this out, fellas. We're taking a little break from boxing here. Hit the like. We're just giving you the updates in the community here, all right? So check out Telkines, what he had to say about Never Sobers and some of Sobers' acquaintances.
This is Telkany Sports Media coming at you with a comprehensive schooling that's imminent on July the 4th, bro. We're going to be destroying Never Sobers in devastating fashion. unless if he does.
Oh,
Not just destroying you.
oh,
Not just destroying you in comprehensive fashion.
You know,
oh, I'm
and
glad.
also he has the
Glad you're playing this.
Uh-huh.
I said I'm glad you're playing this. Go ahead.
show proof that he's not, 170, 180 pounds. He's really
Did you ever claim to be 170 pounds, or what's going on here?
No. He tried to say, hey, look, I caught Tokenies being one of the longtime trolls on my channel, right? I caught him red-handed.
Is that right?
So, yep, and he's been around my channel since before. I've been talking to him since before I started my channel, my first one, right? So I thought we were some type of cool. But then when I caught him trolling, I'm like, what the fuck is that about?
Oh, whoa.
I'm like, what's up? I'm like, what's that about?
Uh-huh.
He doesn't really have an answer. So I was like, okay.
Maybe it's one of those
You know what I mean?
questions that doesn't need an answer.
I banned his ass. Oh yeah, because he's just an edgelord. So that was the answer. I'm an edgelord, and so I kicked him out the Discord, and then he goes, "I challenge you to a fight at 200 pounds." I said, "Done, easy," And he goes, "Ha ha ha! You took the bait, you fool!" Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, And then he sees I don't know. I guess he sees I'm not scared or whatever. So he's like, "Ooh, you better show proof of that you're actually 200 pounds, or you're just bullshitting." And all this craziness, and but I told him, because I kicked him on my Discord. I told him, hey, I know you're full of shit. When you don't show up to Border Wars, I'm gonna ban your ass out of BDA's Discord too.
Whoa, wait a minute. So he's out of the Sobers Discord?
Yeah, he's out. He's out of there.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me play this a little bit more, and then we got to get back to business here.
a little man who's going to get chinned, and it's his fault. I warned him to stop talking shit, owl capping, and then he tried to have me sell out my beloved CCD. I told him, F you. And yes, that's where we have come at this time. We are absolutely going to destroy these clowns. The T sector and all those clowns he has over there, they're all going to get it, bro. I've done told them all, they're all traitors, and they're no longer associated with the great one. And this right here, it's pretty simple to explain. The man's a bum. He's going to get knocked out like a bum.
So far, it's hard to disagree with him, Silvers. No offense.
And he's going to find out real quick that there's levels to this.
Fair enough.
he's gonna be trolling because he's throwing out all these things like there's levels to this, come fight night. Come fight night. He's throwing out the cliches.
Yeah, of course. He's like what? I feel so nice. I'll knock him out twice. He's on some stupid shit like that, right? And but I told him, he's already done this a couple times, where he's challenging people and then he's looking for an excuse why it can't happen. And yeah, there's no excuse this time, bro. There's no excuse this time.
Well, I gotta tell you, very exciting times here. I mean, we got a big fight tomorrow. We might have a potential big fight come July between Silvers and Telekinese or Telkines. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but
I told him if he's like, I'm like, bro, I won't even train. Like, don't be a bitch and show up.
Well, there you go, guys. I mean, are you as excited as I am about this fight? I'm I don't think it happens, though. Unfortunately, boxing fans, we've grown jaded that the big fights don't happen. So I suspect that Silvers will still think. Yeah.
Me either, BD.
So, what? Telkines. All right. So shout out to Telkines. Always, I find him entertaining.
Last time he had a fight scheduled, I think he pulled out with a sprained vagina.
So. Oh, all right. So we're taking shots at him. I'm going to open up the StreamYard later, man. See if he comes up. See if he jumps in. We're on the eve of war, by the way. Inoue versus, what's his name? Nakatani. So I'd like to open up the StreamYards on Friday mornings before a big fight, just to see what happens, just to see who jumps in. Maybe some old friends, old acquaintances.
Oh, what? This is an old tradition of yours now?
That's right. Yes, it's an old tradition that I've done a whopping number of one time. So it's going to be the second time we do it this time. No, actually, I did it the third. When Puro jumped in, there was a fight the next day, I believe. And
when Piro, the corner man, jumped on. Let's see if he jumps on this time.
I
know you don't get no sleep.
Come on, man. I thought you were gonna call him Pure or something. All right, now going back.
Oh, there's
Yes.
Puto Sud. There's that one too.
Oh. Hey, yo. All right, now we got what else? Okay, so Inoue's former opponent, Nonito Donaire, jumping into the fray. Of course, everyone asking his opinion. And this is what he had to say. Some interesting comments here. He says, one thing that Inoue has been blessed with is his ability to fight and hit hard. But a lot of the fighters that he's fought are very afraid of him. I believe that changes with someone like a Nakatani, who's unafraid and can change the dynamic of how he fights. Nakatani can make this a whole different level of fight. That's what I've been talking about. The Nakatani brings that height, but the power as well. Whereas a guy like Picasso didn't really bring power, just the height. And even then, he still made it complicated for Inoue there. He refused to go away. So I wonder what's going to happen there with Nakatani and what type of game plan he's going to bring. He's going to have to stay his ground a little bit, though. He can't be moving back too much, I don't think. Unless, and I hate to say it, but what if he starts putting on a stinker, Nakatani? Meaning, because again, people forget that the three pillars of the ass style, and I don't have to censor myself here because when I talk about the ass style, I'm talking about the things that that make a fighter boring. It's excessive movement, the clinching, but then there's the other one, the because you get the two ass cheeks and the middle portion of the ass style, which is the refusal to throw punches. That's one of those things when people refuse to fight, that is refuse to punch. That's in the rules. Refusing to engage. That's what makes something boring. But maybe Nakatani, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but maybe that's what he's going to have to do. Sort of shock Inoue a little bit there with the counters and then just do a whole lot of movement to try to frustrate Inoue, who, as I've said before, isn't the greatest when it comes to pressuring an opponent. He can do it, don't get me wrong, but he's a little bit more vulnerable doing that than he is when he's counterpunching. So that's something that Nakatani might be able to pull off there. I don't know, but I certainly don't want to see.
BDA. You're thinking that there's going to be some strategy in this. These are two samurais ready to die. Okay, this is going to be a reenactment of the Sengoku period. Do you understand?
I can see Inoue saying that right now, wearing his Japanese flip flops. You know what?
With the bladed hat, with the blade on it.
Yeah, with the hat. But I'm talking to they got the white socks and then they got like the some sort of sandals on it.
The chanclas, that are like thongs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I go, what the? I mean, that's how you dress right now, probably. And you got a katana in the corner. No, but yeah, listen. Hopefully they don't do that. Because I've had enough of these big fights failing to deliver. I want to see action. I want to see blood. I want to see a late stop. I want to see it all, baby. That's what I want to see. But speaking of seeing, so that's what Donaire said, and I agree with him. Like Nakatani has to put on a little fear in Inoue's mind. And by the way, I'm picking Inoue, and the way I can see the fight happening, for some reason, every time I run it in my mind, every time I run the simulations, I tell my brain, BDA's brain, run the simulation. And it runs the simulation, and I keep seeing Inoue first 3 rounds having a little bit of trouble there with Nakatani having success with the counters, but then Inoue sort of finds the timing. Nakatani can deal with the speed, and then it goes downhill from there. Well, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we see a back and forth affair. But Donaire still... Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, so what I see a lot of from Inoue is that he gets caught with that left hook. He is open to it. He's been dropped by it multiple times. And maybe Nakatani will catch him with... Oh, this is the one thing I did notice about it, though. He does get caught with it, but if he gets dropped, it doesn't happen again. Mm-hmm. He ties up almost immediately. Cardenas caught him like once or twice more with that left hook that almost kind of hurt him again. But against what's the other guy's name?
Neri.
What? Who?
Panterita Neri or Pantera Neri.
Yeah, Neri. I'm sorry. Yeah, Neri. Yeah, against him, bro. He didn't let him do it again, and he didn't let Cardenas do it again after he tied up. So I see Junto will have an opening early, but after that, Inoue is going to be on point and he's going to chop him up.
Yeah, because what happened when he fought Cardenas was he was following him. It was a very short sequence where he had him on the ropes. Cardenas circled away from the ropes, and Inoue just followed him, thinking, "Oh, he's not going to throw anything." He led with a left hook, and Cardenas hit him with that overhand left, reminiscent of a sequence in Pacquiao Marquez too, where Marquez led with a left hook, and Pacquiao, the southpaw, weaved under it and countered with an overhand left, similar to how the Tank Davis dropped Garcia the first time in their fight. So you can't really. I mean, it's leading with that left hook. That's a good weapon. But against the southpaw, the counter to that for the southpaw is weave under it and boom, coming with an overhand left. And you're right, though, that might be. But you know what, though, is this going to be a case of Inoue, like you said, just kind of like Romero versus Garcia, where Romero showed up in there with his with his right hand pinned way close to his chin, never dropped it because he knew what the left hook was coming. Do you think Inoue was going to do that? Is he going to have his right hand just glued to his chin?
I don't think so. I think he'll leave himself open until. I think he'll give Nakatani that opening.
Interesting.
He's such an aggressive fighter. He'll give them that opening, but after he gets caught, he will tighten up. So that's why I think Nakatani will have a chance early if he can hurt him early. But once Inoue gets going, he won't be able to stop him.
There you go. Tumatadu says the style also includes not fighting with your friends, brothers, lovers, etc. He's throwing a little bit of criticism out there to the. I got a couple of quotes about that, by the way. So we're gonna, after we're done with this Nakatani thing, Inoue and Nakatani, we're gonna get to it. Shout out to Matt Chat in the chat. I think that's a real Matt Chat. I'm still not sure. We still haven't.
Does it say dirty diaper dandy?
It says diaper dandy, not dirty.
Oh.
Pancho Villa says,
"I'm gonna go change his diaper. I'm sure it's dirty."
Here we go. Pancho Villa says, "Movement is movement. Don't mistake movement for running. Inoue and Nakatani both have aggressive styles. The fight is going to end in a knockout. I'm picking Nakatani by knockout." Whoa! All right, Pancho Villa going. Okay. What was your prediction there, Sobers? Just remind me.
Inoue by decapitation.
Inoue by decapitation. Now, do you think if Nakatani wins, I mean, what's the percentage? Like Fu says, the percentage, what's the percentage here? 50-50, 60-40, 70-30?
I think this is an Inoue fight all the way. But from what I'm seeing in the predictions, I do think it's like maybe 65-45 for Inoue. It's fairly close. The way the fans are having it, they're giving Nakatani a good chance, a better chance than I am.
For the most part, I'm seeing a lot of people saying Inoue.
Yeah.
How can you
but
not
I'm seeing
do
plenty
it, right?
of people pick I'm saying plenty of people are picking Nakatani as well, like more than I thought would.
Interesting. Hopefully we can get Telkines in here to see his prediction. Because he tends to go against the grain a little bit. B. Wayne says, how does Dildo Donaire, how does Dildo Donaire know Nakatani won't be scared like the rest? It's a good question. I mean, that's the other thing about the Source is that I've said it before, Nakatani's resume so far reminds me a little bit of Crawford's resume circa 2018. He had some good wins, some good performances, stoppages, but nothing that makes you go, whoa, okay, that's that's a pound for pound win right there. And it's the same thing with Nakatani. A lot of the guys he fought were outgunned. And then when he couldn't outgun a guy in Sebastian Hernandez, he was a war. To a lesser extent, same thing happened against Chivas Rodriguez, which is a fight a lot of people have forgotten, in part because it was so sloppy and so uneventful in action that people forget about it. But he had a tough time against Chivas too, and that was one of his best opponents so far. So me starts to wonder about whether Nakatani might be a little bit overrated. A little bit.
I believe so.
Oh, all right. So yes, so Pete Wayne calling Donaire Dildo Donaire. I mean, at least he didn't call him Cock Donaire, right? Wasn't that the nickname going around for a while there?
Yeah. If you've seen these weird ass pictures he would take in hotel room with these random LDPC members that were never fans of him, only fans of his wife. Yeah, it's a bit sus.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Nonito Donaire LDBC saga where he was saying all of a sudden he gave him interviews, so they started rooting for him, and especially against Donaire. Yeah, it was about the time of the Donaire, the Inoue rematch, right?
Yes, and this is like these people are like famous for saying we don't care about anything under 126 pounds or 130 pounds, right? Because there's no, I guess a lot too many Black Americans in those divisions.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't give a shit. No, we don't care about the little ass weight classes, right? So I just thought it was hilarious when all of a sudden they have Donaire on there, and they're trying to be buddy with him, chopping it up with his wife late night.
I remember Repet used to talk about. He would often post those pictures, going, "What's going on here? What?"
Yeah, that was weird, bro. That shit was weird. They weren't fans of him. They never watched him fight. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I suspect they couldn't even name 5 wins from Donaire. Uh, in the chat, Desperado says BDA in the morning. he's doing his
Mm,
he's
mm,
doing
mm,
he's doing the body bag thing there. Matt Chat says Vegas has Inoue minus 400, so that's about a 4-1 favorite. Those are close odds, man. Relatively close odds for an Inoue fight.
Told you.
You know what? It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We got to get Washington in here too. He's the betting mastermind on the Discord, so maybe he can.
He's a local betting addict.
Yeah, I wouldn't say degenerate, but because he seems to have
He's
his
an
act
addict.
together. He's an addict. You think so? Well, there you go. But
Don't you have you noticed that where everything's advertising gambling?
nowadays,
Everything.
yeah.
Yeah. Every kind of streamer, every kind of video game is all just gambling in the background.
Well,
Anything you see on the hub is just gambling in the background. Like what the hell?
well, that's where the money is, man.
I get my rocks off.
Exactly. There you go. But hey, by the way, Donaire had this to say. I think this is a salient point here. He says Inoue has the power and the speed to cut the distance, and that can be a big problem for Nakatani. Not only that, he said, but check this out: the body shots. Being a taller guy, you're very vulnerable to being hit with body shots, especially coming from a guy like Inoue with the power, speed, timing, and distance management to close in quickly. And Donaire knows a thing or two about Inoue's body shots because he got hurt something awful in the first fight. In fact, it was in that first fight that Inoue dropped him with a body shot, and the referee got in Donaire's face. Remember that? No, excuse me, in Inoue's face. Inoue dropped
Yeah, he tried
Donaire.
to jog. He tried to jog it off, and then took a knee. The
Yeah,
referee blocked it away from finishing him.
exactly. It's like, what the ref? What are you doing? It's like, why are you getting in front? The guy's jogging away. He's turning his back to Inoue. That's his fault. That's on him. You're not supposed to get in there. Like, it was a weird thing. It was a weird thing, and that was in Japan. So people think Japanese people like who was that? Was it Bomba Rodriguez, the Puerto Rican fighter? He fought a Japanese fighter over there, and the Japanese fighter should have gotten the decision, and they gave it to Bomba. And there's been
So
other
they
yeah, so
have so much honor, they'll rob their own fighters. BDA.
that's what I was gonna say. A lot of these Japanese, there's been other instances where Japanese fighters seem to win, and they don't give them the decision. You go, what's going on, man? It's almost as if they're actually doing it on purpose to sort of like show them a lesson or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. But one thing that I did want to show here, as it pertains to the body shots, this last video that I did about Inoue on the official channel, I want to show people this because this is really something that I go, okay, this is really this speaks volumes about Inoue. In the age MJ fight, I'm showing the clips here. MJ, he was outboxing MJ first 3 rounds. Then the last four or five, MJ starts picking it up. And by the way, this footage comes from. I want to give the guy a shout out because he recorded it at ringside. It's live boxing video. Live boxing video. So you see here Inoue in a very underrated performance against MJ. A lot of people say, "Oh, Inoue's dossier so far, the last 3-4 fights hasn't been that great." But MJ was a top flight opponent, and Inoue, look at this. Look at how quick
Isn't that
he
someone
is.
they said he was ducking?
Well, Eddie Hearn said it, but he had to say because that was MJ's promoter. But yeah,
I heard plenty of people saying that.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
on Twitter, yeah, I did see some people on Twitter saying. By the way, check this clip out here. Here, this is what I'm talking about. Fucking Inoue with the chin up in the air. Look at this. 1, 2. Look at how his chin is in the air there. And he took the shot, but you can't be eating too many of those. You can't be giving an opponent like that. And so, who has a big left hand, like you said, Sobers? Of course, Nakatani. That's what everyone's been saying. Look at that chin, man. What's he doing? Could be trouble. Could be trouble.
I think Nakatani will have an opening early, but he'll have to capitalize immediately if he can hurt in a way. He can't give him a chance to recover.
Okay, I got a question for you. Who hits harder, MJ or Nakatani at 122 pounds?
We've only seen Nakatani one fight at 120 when he could have knocked the guy out. I would still say Nakatani though. I don't think Katmandali is like really known as a puncher like that. So I'd say Nakatani. I'd still give him the edge.
All right. Yeah, I think maybe because he generates power with that height of his, but or in length. But I gotta tell MJ, when he fights lesser opposition, he beats the crap out of them. So I think the power is there. I think the power is substantial. This is the clip I wanted to show. So MJ has him on the rope. This is the sixth round. He has him on the ropes. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Look at that. So he had him on the ropes. He stunned Inoue a little bit, it seemed, or maybe had him a little bit weird. And then Nakatani, Inoue replies with this. Look at this. And you know his body shots are particularly vicious compared to everyone else. And he just goes in one body shot, second body shot.
Nice.
Three left hooks in a row. He's just like, that's what I like to see in a guy who has power. Just load up on that power, man. Don't like Food TV says, I want the perfect shot. No, Inoue just goes in there and says, let me bust that body up. I want to see you piss blood.
Give him a badonk. Right, not a badoink.
That is right, a badonk. A bafunk. That's what he's doing. He's putting the funk in that badoink. So yeah, man, that clip, when I saw that, I said, yeah, that's I wonder, do you think Nakatani can take those?
Not for 12 rounds. I feel like this is going to be one of Japan's biggest fights, and there's going to be too much on the line. Both these guys are going to go for it. So either, like you say, redlining, I think they're both going to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So either from exhaustion or just the fight from the punches, one of them going down.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, I want to see a knockout. I was rewatching Sergio Martinez, Paul Williams 2, when Martinez iced Paul Williams. And Emmanuel
That's
Stewart,
one of my favorite knockouts.
it has to be. It's one of the best knockouts of the last, minimum of the last 20 years. In fact, Ring Magazine put it as one of the greatest knockouts of all time. But anyway, Emmanuel Stewart, after the fight, he says, this is what we want to see nowadays. We want to see knockouts. Nowadays, too many guys are going to decisions. We want to see stoppages because that's what really gets the boxing world talking. And I said, that's true. That's why he was always screaming at Vladimir Klitschko, hey, cocksucker, you got the power. What are you doing clinching your way to decisions? I want to see you go get some knockouts.
Man, let that shit go.
Exactly. And it's true. And it's the same thing with these two guys. That's the other thing. Again, a lot of people were crapping on Nakatani after the Sebastian Hernandez fight. It's like, oh, you see, this is why Shakur Stevenson is superior. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Okay, Shakur Stevenson has better defense. I will say that. And he's got a deeper dossier at this point than Nakatani. But what Nakatani may lack in that elusiveness, he makes up for with power. That's a skill too, thrown with power. A lot of people say, well, not everybody can be an action fighter. Well, okay, not everybody has the reflexes of Shakur Stevenson. But what Nakatani does have is the ability to generate power. And his skills aren't that far off either. It's not like he's a bum when it comes to skills. So, yeah, this is what I like to see. Two guys who know how to go in there, sit down on their shots, and really actually try to create some damage. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. What are people in the chat saying? I see we got Pancho Villa saying, I doubt that Inoue can pressure Nakatani as effectively as Hernandez did, and I doubt that Inoue hits harder. I think Nakatani is going to use his reach to do damage. The fight is ending in a knockout. Well, I'm a little confused though. Who are you saying? I doubt that Inoue hits harder. Are you saying you doubt that Inoue
Hernandez?
Inoue at 122 punch for punch, Inoue does hit harder than Hernandez. Hernandez is a little bit of a heavy-handed volume puncher. A little bit like Cepeda. Maybe a little bit heavier-handed, but he's more of a. By the way, Hernandez, if you rewatch his fights, man, the guy he turns those punches over very well, especially on the inside. Really gets close. It's got to be hell fighting a guy like that. I would rather face a runner than a guy like Hernandez because he's just going to suffocate you for as long as the fight goes. And as he showed against Nakatani, he ate some big shots from Nakatani and just ate him up and kept coming. And what's interesting too, in the Sobers, I was talking about the Shida. What was the fight that the Nakatani when he fought a southpaw Japanese fighter or a pressure fighter, Nishida. When he fought Nishida tried to do what Hernandez did. And before Hernandez did it, obviously, but he put the earmuffs up and tried to go to war against Nakatani. And although he never faltered and he never was dropped or anything, his face got all busted up. So when going into the Hernandez fight, I was thinking, well, is Hernandez's face going to hold up? Because we know he's just going to fight coming forward. So, and sure enough, not only did he never get visibly hurt, his face never showed any visible damage or extensive damage.
He had that leather Aztec skin,
That's why he had that zero wolf skin. And that's the other thing. I was looking at his physiognomy. When it comes to Mexican phenotypes, usually you have a couple of types, right? You have the RG Cortez, Angel Fierro type. They sort of look alike. Then you have sort of like the skinny zombie type, like Ray Vargas or Tite de Vasquez. You know, they look very gaunt. Divino Espinoza too.
Shades of Fundura. Shades of Fundura.
Exactly, like Divino too. Divino, very very skinny.
Right.
And then you have like the Cain Velasquez, Sebastian Hernandez, Mexican Neanderthal phenotype. Just like I said, like from Apocalypto, Zero Wolf. That type
Right.
of he would be the alpha of the fucking tribe or whatever. So that's what
The
Sebastian
one who
Hernandez.
throws a spear the longest. I mean, the farthest.
Exactly. There you go. So Pancho Villa is saying that the fight is ending in a knockout. Jay Perez says Nakatani will have to slow it down and be a real threat by timing his straight left and uppercut. Absolutely. Furioso in the chat. How about Furioso? Are you beefing with him or 'cause I don't know who you're beefing with
No,
anymore?
no. Me and
Okay.
him will always be good.
Okay, there you go. He says, Salute. Nakatani was exposed last time out. He is overrated. Inoue, easy win. Benavidez, easy win too. All right, so it's going to be easy night, according to Furioso. Shout out to Furioso. Miso Dionysian says they call them druids. What's he talking about? They call them druids. Maybe it's escaping. The reference is escaping me. B Wayne says BFTB and those LBC guys wanted this fight so bad, and Inoue washed him. LOL. They're talking about the Donaire rematch, I think.
I think the
Langsbury.
MJ fight as well.
Yeah. All right. And then remember, for a little while, the Filipinos were saying that Casimiro was being ducked.
Ridiculous.
That Langsbury
He
says,
was ducking the law, if I'm not mistaken.
"Oh, because of some Epstein-related things." Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yep.
I'd forgotten about that. Now that you reminded me, yeah, that was weird. I don't know what's going on with these boxers. Jojo Diaz, this guy, Bacoli reposting CP on Twitter one time. Remember
What?
that? Yeah, apparently there was like some sort of child abuse video or something that somebody posted on Twitter, and then Martin Bacoli reposted it, and he's got, "Why would anybody post this?" And then people were like, "Well, you're reposting it too,
Idiot.
motherfuckers!" Like, what the? I don't know how they do things in the Congo, but over here in the West, we don't do that type of stuff, Bacoli.
Someone did that on my Facebook, bro. They shared this video, and they're like, "I can't believe someone would do this, you piece of shit," and just saying all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And I click on it, and then I see what it is, and I'm like, it took me a second. I'm like, "What is it?" And then I immediately click off, right? And like I unfriended this person. I stopped fucking with them because I was like, "Why would you share this video?" You know,
And yet,
it was some weird stuff. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, "You're trying to get people in trouble." Like, you know, like, what the fuck?
yeah, that's weird, man. That people would post that shit. That's why I stay in my little circle, man. I don't venture outside of it. The internet's a weird dystopian place, let me tell you. Miso Danisa says, "My bad, that was meant for a community post." Oh, okay, I gotcha. Langsbury says, I reckon there's no KO in this fight, Inoue by decision. Jay Perez says, you also have the Andy Luis type. Oh yeah, I forgot about the fat. Yeah, the Andy Luis. Yeah, a lot of Mexicans over 200. If you ever hear a Mexican tell you he's over 200 pounds,
the torta build.
that torta build, yeah, but you gotta watch out because they got deceptively quick hands, just like Luis.
Mhm.
All right, so I think that's enough on this Inoue Nakatani fight. I already spent an hour and 10 minutes on it, but I mean, it deserves to. It deserves to have that amount of time because it's a big fight. Speaking of big fights in the undercard, like I said, Yoka looking to make division by becoming a five division champ against Takuma Inoue. And I was telling the people there, Sobers, that I'm giving Yoka a very good chance here. I smell upset, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think Takuma anyway. His brother took all the good genes. So.
Yeah, they're not twins, are they? Because maybe he stole his nutrients while they were in the womb together. Yeah. All right. Naoya Inoue. Oh no, wait. Okay. So one last thing here about Naoya Inoue versus Nakatani. The WBC crawling out of their hole. And by the way, I'm not just criticizing the WBC. I criticize all of these sanctioning bodies. People know it. But the WBC seems to be quite oblivious as to all the criticism they've been receiving so far, and they just keep on coming like nothing ever happened. WBC to award Naoya Inoue Junto Nakatani winner $100,000 ring. They're gonna give him a ring that's worth $100K. And I'm thinking, first of all, I don't think these guys really care about that. And then he talks about the details, the carrots and blah, blah, blah. And, that's all fine and dandy. But I want to refer people to Peter chapter 3, verse 3, do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear. That's right. If you're going to adorn something, it shouldn't be your body, it should be your spirit. And so this type of baubles of men's vanity, like rings, let me tell you, I'm not big on that. And it just goes to show you what WBC really cares about, and that is money. Money, 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 money.
Well, they're probably doing a small investment, right? If it's 100,000, they'll probably get 2-3 times that back with the sanctioning fees for the belt. So they probably
Exactly.
don't look at it like it's a bad thing.
Exactly. I remember when Jimmy was talking about how these sanctioning bodies are non-profits. And so I think near the end of the year, I think they start spending a lot of money because they want to get a return on it. So he's like, he goes, what these people actually, they probably do is, you get Mauricio Suleiman, he's got to spend a bunch of money before the end of the year. So he goes to the secretaries and goes, hey, honey, here's 500 grams. Get yourself something nice. Get yourself something nice. Like he gives him like $1,000 or $2,000. Like, yeah, go to Macy's, get yourself a couple of shoes, some purses. Like, get yourself
probably.
Get yourself something nice. But yeah, man, I mean, these sanctioning bodies, man, I've had it with them. What else? Oh, yeah. So speaking of still connected somewhat here to Inoue and Nakatani, there was talks, there was a little bit of a rumor that Figueroa and Divino Espinoza were going to be fighting. Well, according to Chava, ESPN on Twitter says, I'm being told in Las Vegas that Figueroa is paying very close attention to this Japanese fight on Saturday between Inoue and Nakatani, and that the Divino fight is La pelea con Divino está ahí. Okay, that the Divino fight is still there, but it's not a priority. It looks like Divino might end up looking for another option. So it seems like Figueroa is looking for that big Japanese money, that big yuan, instead of the peso against Divino Espinoza. Sobers, what do you think about this? That yen, yeah. What did I say, yuan? What the hell's the yuan anyway?
I think that's maybe Chinese.
Yeah. I'm confusing them, I guess. What do you think about this? You think Figueroa is in the
Racist.
right? Yeah, you're
Dig it.
Well, listen, I got PTSD from Vietnam, so just don't bring up Asians to me. But what do you think about this Figueroa? Do you think he's in the right looking for that yen, or should he look to?
Yeah. I would like. I think the Mexico versus Japan rivalry is a very interesting budding thing in boxing. So the more we see of it, the better. They always make good fights when it's a Mexican and a Japanese dude, especially when they're at the world level. So yeah, I'm with that.
Man, I want to see Divino in a big fight, man. He hasn't had a big fight since he beat Ramirez.
Let him fight Stephen Fulton. Let him come back down to 126.
you just want to see Fulton get the crap beat out of him left and right, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There you go. But yeah, man, I mean, he needs a. Hopefully, they can get him a decent opponent because look.
Oh, Shushu Carrington. There you go. That's the perfect guy right there.
Yeah, Shushu Carrington. I think weren't they talking about another fight for him? I think. I mean, they're both with Top Rank. I don't understand why they don't just make that fight happen already. And
exactly.
I will say this about Divino. I'll reiterate: this guy is good. He's pulling a Navarrete in the sense that every time he fights an opponent, he performs better than anyone else has against that opponent so far. So, for example, Espinoza fought Ramirez, who's very, very good. He's only been beaten once early in his career, Ramirez, and Espinoza went in there and really gave him a beat. Okay, the first fight was close, right? Then the second one, he makes him quit. Then he fights Edward Vasquez, who, a lot of people feel he got robbed against Raymond Ford, and then also gave Cordina a very, very tough fight. Espinoza goes in there, beats the crap out of him. Then you've got that, Kegai. Kegai had gone the distance against Stephen Fulton, gave him a very tough fight. I think he actually hurt Fulton in that one as well. Espinoza goes in there, beats the crap out of him, like no one else had done before. So this dude is a bit of a wrecking machine in there. He's a wrecking ball, which is ironic because he's not shaped like a ball. He's shaped like a fucking stick figure. But this dude is dangerous, and I want to see him in there against a tough opponent. So we'll see what happens with him. I played, there's a short video that we posted of Benavidez sparring Ramirez 10 years ago. And Benavidez recently had this to say about that. He said, now that I think about it, I kind of got ripped off, he says, because I was sparring him, talking about Ramirez, the whole camp, 12 rounds for like 2 months. and I got like 3,000 bucks. He says, I know I got ripped off because I pay my guys $1,000 a week. Check him out, flexing the amount of money he pays his sparring partners. I mean,
Oh, that's so much. What the fuck?
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's coming out of his purse, I believe. So it's something, right? But what I'm thinking is, well, wait a minute, how much were you worth as a sparring partner back then? Because first of all,
Right.
Ramirez, it's not like Ramirez was that big a name 10 years ago. Even today, he's not that big a name. And second of all, who was, Benavidez was like a 20-year-old kid or something. So it's experience. 500 a week, maybe? It's thereabouts?
The exposure was the payment, right?
Right, exactly. No, I mean, $3,000. Again, what do I know about paying sparring partners? But Benavidez feels like he was ripped off. And interestingly enough, people are talking about the Canelo versus Billy fight, which was announced over yesterday, and some people are saying that Canelo's trying to steal Benavidez' shine. I'm thinking, well, what shine is there? There's again, this fight against Ramirez isn't really selling all that well, and again, it's a shame because it should be selling well because it looks like it could be an interesting fight, and if anybody deserves to have eyes on him, it's Benavidez, but he's just not selling well. Then, of course, the fight gets announced. And people all around the media, the roundtable, they gotta ask Benavidez about the fight. And David Benavidez, and Jose Benavidez Sr., his father, obviously, they had to crap on the fight. And people keep saying, "Oh, well, they keep asking him about it, so he has to answer the question." I'm thinking, well, if they keep bringing up the fact that he failed the drug test and that he failed to make weight all the way a couple of years ago, and they keep bringing it up, is he going to keep answering questions about that, or is he going to say enough is enough? Something tells me he would probably
Right.
say enough is enough. But when it comes to Canelo, he just can't keep talking about referencing Canelo. And he said, he said sarcastically, who is Mbili? Who's Mbili? I don't care about that fight. But then somebody posted this on the Discord. Hold on a second. Who was it? I got to give a shout out to Fresh Prince. Shout out to Fresh Prince in the Discord for posting this. This is Benavidez Sr. in 2024, so just about 2 years ago. Benavidez Sr. wants son David to face dangerous Christian and Billy.
I remember that when he was still fishing for that Canelo fight, he was trying to get David to fight and Billy, and I thought that would have been like a joke fight. So I don't think that Canelo's trying to step on them or their toes or whatever. I think he's purposely doing it with good reason. Before this fight was announced, they're right there saying they're still using his name to cloud chase. Oh, back when Canelo was ducking me, what his dad was saying at the press conference, this is going to be a passing of the torch. Canelo didn't want to do it, so we're doing it ourselves. It's too bad that he ducked us, and Canelo's a coward. But we're gonna keep a tradition alive and whoop de whoop. So they were cloud chasing off his name the whole time. They can't stop doing it. And that's like one of the things that I feel like is gonna make them look bad. Like, dude, if you're trying to build a fan base, cool, do it. Do it off your merit. Don't do it off of. All right, everyone says Canelo ducked you, but take that. But that's not. Don't do like a 5-year tour with it, like Crawford does after he beats Spence.
Oh, we're gonna get to Crawford too. He's in the news a little bit too, though. But yeah, you're right, though. I mean, look, I understand bringing up Canelo's name, but it's too much now. Even I saw some people on Twitter saying, "All right, enough." I know they bring him up, but you can say, "I've had enough." I've seen him say enough in other spots, I believe, and I've definitely seen other fighters say, "Look, I've had enough of this. I got a fight coming up. Stop asking me about this dude." And this is
To his credit, he did say something like that. They asked him about the future, and he goes, "It's disrespectful. I'm only worried about Surdo." But then he does talk about Canelo still, like, "Oh, he should have ducked me," and I'm still looking for that fight. Oh, he there's a meeting between him and Turkey, and they're talking with his dad.
Yeah.
He's like, "I got Benavidez, Vivo, or Patai," and you know what this fool says? What about Canelo? You can make anything happen. What about Canelo? So when people say that Bebo ducked him or he would, Beater B doesn't want us to fight him or whatever, I don't know, man. This guy, like I said, he's a good fighter. I like David Benavidez, his style and everything. I just, in the bones of his career, he's a PBC fighter. So he's always doing PBC shit.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And because a lot of people dislike him, and he shouldn't really be that disliked because it's not like he's an abrasive personality, David Benavidez, but it's part of the package of his father too, doing a lot of talking and saying things like, I mean, recently he pissed off a lot of people saying, "Who's Opetaya? Opetaya, maybe in 5 years he'll be ready." He gets hit a lot. It's like, what? He gets hit, and Zurdo doesn't get hit a lot. It's like, what are you talking about? Why did they? And that's the other thing. Why did they gun for this Ramirez fight right off the bat instead of the Opetaya one? See, that's where I go. I don't know about this matchmaking. Maybe they know something we don't. And then now this whole thing of crapping on Mbili, but then there's clear quotes of him saying that he's a dangerous guy for David. So I mean, it's just the Canelo, the Turk says, Canelo hater. A lot of the current criticism says like a Canelo derangement syndrome. Yeah, it's a Canelo derangement. It is real. I know there's a lot of Canelo fans out there that deep throat him no matter what he does, but in this scenario, I think it's quite clear that it's David Benavidez' team who's overdoing a little bit with the derangement syndrome. A little bit. Speaking of deranged, Crawford, every time... All right, there's something weird going on Twitter, Sobers. There's this narrative now that apparently Crawford docked Boots. And I thought that it was settled that both Boots and Ortiz at one point in their careers didn't want to fight him, that they turned it down. Now, yeah, later on, it was weird that Crawford didn't want to fight him, but then again, the argument was, well, they didn't want to fight him before, and so Crawford now has the right to not want to really fight him when the Canelo fight's there for him. So I said, okay. But now there's this, I guess, again, they're really pushing the narrative like it's a known fact that, hey, Crawford didn't want to fight Boots. He's scared of Boots. And Crawford, you know how thin-skinned he is. He's hearing all of this. And as sure as the sun rises, every other month, Crawford has to go on Twitter and get into it with the fans. So he came out and he started getting into it with the fans. And this dude, a couple of days ago, he posted this. He says, "It drives Bud crazy that people won't give him credit because deep down he knows he timed everything perfectly to get those last two undisputed titles." Now that has been one of the criticisms that's been thrown his way, that he waited for all those guys to grab the titles and then beat them. But then again, Errol Spence did say it in that infamous meeting against Crawford backstage in one of those fights in 2018, I want to say, or 2019. He said, "Let me collect all the belts and then we'll fight you." So that's what Spence wanted. So, I mean, how can you really criticize Crawford for that? But then anyway, Crawford ended up replying, "That's a lie that you tell yourself. You can't time anything when I call for fights for years." So he's got a bit of a point there, but the other point, the guy's point still stands. The Twitter guy says it drives him crazy because deep down inside he's a little bit insecure. It's true. Crawford just reeks of insecurity, and I gotta assume that it's because of his mother. She seemed like a bit of a basket case. Apparently, she never told him she. Yes.
He has imposter syndrome. He doesn't feel like the 3-time undisputed champion of the world. So
that's bizarre, man.
You can see it in his actions. He's trying to convince you and himself.
That's bizarre. And maybe remember that clip where he's playing with Shakur Stevenson. They're playing Monopoly or something, and Shakur's like, "Man, you're always cheating. You're always cheating." And Crawford's laughing, and I'm thinking, there you go. It seems like
he's like, yucca, I sure am.
Yeah, he strikes me as the type of guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to win, to make himself feel good. But it's chasing the dragon. He's no matter what he does, he's never gonna feel good, because that's what he said in that post-fight interview with that Jewish streamer, where he says, "The reason why I retired was because no matter what I do, they ain't never gonna give me credit." And I go, well, plenty of people gave you credit. Yeah, now people are crapping on you because I think they're baiting him to come out of retirement. But essentially, none of that was happening late last year after he beat Canelo, and he still said that. So yeah, evidently he's got a chip on his shoulder that he really needs to shake off, man, because he can't lead his life post-retirement this way, or he's gonna self-destruct. And then this dude, like I'm telling you, people are baiting him on Twitter now, knowing that he every time he's always going to reply to what people say. This guy goes, "Bud, my champion. Hate to admit it, but you dogged me, my boy." Like you dogged me. Like, what the hell is he talking about? You dogged me. But I think he's talking about Ennis or something. And then Crawford goes, "Who? Let me hear it." Like he's actually engaging with these people. And then there's this dude that I just saw this tweet this morning as I was drinking my black tea before coming on the air. Opinion, he says. "Bud Crawford, guys, you know me. I want the best for fighters, so I say this from a place of goodwill. But crowning yourself a top 5 all-time GOAT and doing monthly rant on socials calling fans who disagree haters and racist. It is not likable, fam. We see how so many dislike Floyd for saying that type of stuff, including Tyson and Roy Jones. Bro, you're not even on Floyd and Pacquiao's level. Why are you putting yourself with Ali and Sugar Ray? And call everyone hater is ridiculous. This isn't endearing to the public or anyone. I don't get it, guys. Am I bugging? All mature opinions welcome. I completely agree with this dude. This is not endearing. Again, people are looking at it through, because I want to explain to people the Crawford effect, the phenomenon. A lot of people ended up jumping on his bandwagon throughout the years because, especially mid 2010s, when the PBC was in full effect, in full power, they controlled the welterweight division, and yeah, they didn't want to fight Crawford. They didn't want to include Crawford in that game.
Isn't there a saying in Spanish, BDA? Calladito te miras más bonito.
Absolutely, yes. Silence is golden. That's another one in English. And people picked sides because there was the PBC side and then there was the anti-PBC side, and a lot of the anti-PBC people picked. I'm not saying that everyone that was a pro Crawford fan was an anti-PBC, but they looked at him as the besmirched one, the devalued one, the one who was defrauded out of getting that, or not defrauded, I don't even know that's a word, but who was prevented from getting the accolades by fighting the best welterweights. So there was a bit of an underdog thing going on with Crawford. And people are still, it seems like people are still looking at Crawford through those lenses, especially since he's fighting Canelo. And of course, Canelo's the A side, he's the face of boxing, so people immediately are going to pick the underdog against Canelo. And a lot of people, let's face the facts, a lot of people hate Canelo. So there was that thing with Crawford. They really loved seeing Crawford beat him. But throughout all of that, there seemed to be missing and overlooking Crawford's character fault, is that he's a bit of an asshole. And I might be being generous with when I say a bit, because again, he's going on talking about Teofimo Lopez. If I said the things Teofimo Lopez said, people would be calling me racist. Like racist. He actually said racist. And then I played the clip once of Crawford telling Jose Benavidez Jr., I'm going to beat the burritos out of you. And people say, well, that's not racist. I mean, okay, it's not racist. It's you're playing on a stereotype. So I guess you could pull that in the category if you wanted to, that of bigotry. Now,
No. And
Yes.
Benavidez was like, I'm gonna knock out that fried chicken out your greasy ass head. What would be said?
Exactly. But now, listen, I'm not complaining because who cares? I let these guys say whatever they want.
Oh yeah. If it
But it is
apply, let it apply.
right. But it is hypocritical of Crawford for saying that. And so, anyway, it's interesting when I've often hear that, right? The whataboutisms, like which Crawford brought up. Oh well, if I said this, it would happen. Well, you did say something, and anyone barely blinked. Because let's face, I mean, anyway, I'm not gonna get into it now, but he said that. Then there's the snack connection, and then there's the exploding gloves. Anytime that somebody wants to tell me that Crawford's the underdog or he's anti-establishment, whatever, how much more on the side of the establishment can you be if your gloves explode twice and people don't talk about that? People still bring up the Margarito thing, the Fury thing, but with Crawford, everybody stays hush-hush about the gloves. So it's true. Look, listen, Crawford has a lot of character flaws, and people are finally, sometimes you got to beat people over the head with it for them to finally wake up like, hey, there's something going on here. And this guy really hit the nail on the head. There's nothing endearing about a guy going online, constantly talking about how he's top 5 all-time GOAT. I mean, you don't see Usyk doing that. It finally took Inoue, by the way, when they ask him, who is the best fighter in the world? And then he'll say me, right? But they're prompting him out of him finally for him to say that type of stuff. Most of the time, you won't see guys doing that. Or like when they ask Canelo, hey, are you the best Mexican fighter of all time? He says, hey, listen, buddy, I let the people decide that. You know, that's the formal answer.
Right, exactly.
Crawford has no filters like me, like before the question's even finished.
Obviously me, if you think about it. Well,
if you think about
it 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
100 times, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing that people.
And they're always ducking me. People
like to throw out the 3 times. Oh no! What? How many times is it? 4 times, 3 times undisputed.
I think it was 15 or something.
Yeah. And they got 4 times undisputed. Like, hey, who cares? Undisputed. Who cares about the bell? How many bells you collected? It's about who you beat. And he even admitted. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into the whole resume thing, but okay, like before the question's even asked, he's already answered. Like, ask me. Let's pretend I'm Terrence Crawford. Ask me, hey, Terrence, where would you put yourself on the?
Excuse me, Terrence. Rockface.
Top 5
PBC.
all-time great. Like before the question's even asked, he's already saying, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. Mount Rushmore. And yeah, people are starting to see.
Excuse me, Mr. Crawford. It's Sean Rockface Zittle from PBC.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're one of the best fighters of all time. You're my favorite fighter. I mean, if you're a woman, I'd love you, but who's your best fighter of all time?
But anyway, yeah, but that was Crawford. That was Crawford sort of imploding for the sixth time in a month on Twitter, going at it with people. And yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, so if you criticize his resume, oh, you're a hater or a racist. That always seems to be the way to go with some of these people who can't take criticism. So that's what happened with Crawford in the last couple of days. He was like the young and say nowadays. He was crashing out again, and I suspect maybe he's pissed off because he lost the court case. Which remember reckless driving, and he had a gun in the. I don't know why so many people were armed. He's got bodyguards. Like, why does he need so many bodyguards? By the way, armed bodyguards over there in Omaha. Maybe it's because people know he has money and they would try to test him. I don't know.
Maybe he's not well liked.
Maybe he's not well liked, Sobers. That's a good point. But why would he need guns? I mean, everyone's always talking about how strong he is and how he can wrestle people. I mean. He's Superman. Why can't he just kick the gun away?
Why don't he just wrestle the bullet? Why don't he just wrestle the bullet out his opponent's hand?
Exactly. Use those belts of his to shield himself like an armor. Speaking of people that are sort of being disliked, Connor Ben on Twitter, another guy that can't stay off social media. Check this out. This guy's insane. So, there was a rumor a couple of days ago about Stevenson and Devin Haney maybe fighting, and then it turns out that those talks were fugazi, and that Mike Coppinger might have gotten bamboozled and finagled into reporting that story. So anyway, Source of Boxing there, they were talking about that fight. And then Connor Ben tags himself into that story. And he goes, average 5 punches per round, #faint off. So instead of a punch off, it's going to be a feint off, he's saying. And I'm thinking, look, it's true. It's probably going to be a boring fight if it ever happens, Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, which I don't think it will, by the way. But he's got some nerve, doesn't he? Talking about these guys and throwing shade at them when this dude couldn't even do anything to reach his progress. What do you think, Sobers? Am I overstepping here, or because Connor Ben does make a good point that it's going to be a boring fight?
No, I'm sick of Connor Ben and his bad opinions, bro. He acts like he's somebody, like he's some kind of exciting fighter. That Prograis fight was a soft serve for him, and he couldn't even drop the guy. He's nothing without his eggs. So. I mean, he's just. I don't even know if I would call him contender level. Well, he's he'll be a contender at 147 because the division is very weak. But at 154, he wouldn't be. So, his opinion is kind of, I don't know, listening to, when Paulie Malignaggi likes to pipe up. Everyone, man, shut up, man! You're not gonna knock anybody out. Shut up.
That is true. Huh? You're right. Like Malignaggi could never crack, and he's like, man, he starts talking. I remember he was talking a lot of smack before the Cotto fight back in 2006, and I'm thinking, what are you doing, man? You can't crack. And his chin got cracked. His cheekbone got fractured, I believe. Was all swollen up. Before we continue, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Mike from Virginia. I think that's it. I don't know how I came up with that. Is it even from? I think so. Maybe I'm reading between the lines. He says, I call it a jabathon, Haney versus Shakur. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. Because now they're talking about, what were they talking about? They were talking about Haney. They're talking about Shakur Stevenson versus Murataya at 135. How is that going to happen? And who was it that they were talking about for Haney? I forget. I think they were talking about Garcia rematch. Anyway, I forget. Shout out to Pancho Villa says, I remember Crawford assaulted a mechanic and damaged his property in a small town. That could be a death sentence. So, did he assault the mechanic? I thought all he did was barge through the door and still grab. Technically, he stole his car back because he refused to pay.
I don't know if he assaulted him. I know he maybe what he did could be called assault, right? Because he was kind of threatening him, and he came with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So I know there's different varying levels of assault. Maybe he was like, "I'll fuck you up if you don't give my shit back," or something like that. Through the intimidation, it could be classified as assault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you never know.
Things are now.
You never know with this legalese. I mean, nowadays you say a bad word to somebody and that's considered assault. Miso Dionysian says Crawford is like the first sore winner. Yeah, if there ever was a definition of a sore winner, it looks like it's Crawford. More BDC says Regis Prograis took out Indongo in better fashion than Crawford did. B. Wayne says he had 4-glove controversy. He retires after Victor Conte dies, and his fans who love controversies stay silent. Well, there's something to it. I don't know about the 4-glove controversies. I've only got 2 on my count here, but maybe there's more. I don't know. B. Wayne says his fans were ready for him to retire after Spence and compare him to Floyd and Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray. Pancho Villa says silence is golden. They don't say that in the USA. All right, so people are going a little bit nuts in the chat there, but shout out to everybody. Shout out to Team Batman Boxing. Shout out to Team Batman Boxing saying, listening to BDA while in Tokyo for Inoue versus Nakatani. Well, well, well. Shout out to Team Batman Boxing all the way in Tokyo for that fight. I'm actually, you know what? I'm beyond jealous. I am envious. If I can be in Tokyo, Team Batman Boxing, you can be either. So get back over here. I think he's from England, I think. Anyway, shout out to Team Batman Boxing. Really appreciate for him dropping by. And yeah, man, I'm glad for him. He's over there in Tokyo. I don't know if he's actually going to be I assume he's going to be at the fight, because why else would you just travel there? Were you going to watch it at a sushi bar or something? So shout out to Team Batman Boxing and give you some on-site reports, because I'm very curious here. Very curious. Boxing 9741 says, BDA, IBFP is speaking Zurdo because of the size of his hands. Is he really? I caught some of the stream yesterday, but I must have missed that one. I didn't really catch the beginning. Iceman says, I've seen 3-glove controversies.
Size of his hands. What the fuck?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I've said it before. The size of the hands, I'm not saying that I'm going to pick Zurdo because of the size of the hands. What I'm saying, I'm changing directions here a little bit. What I'm saying is, I think the size of the hands does play a factor in the power, the punching power. Because, you know, a lot of people often say, well, what makes a puncher? And, you know, is it the technique? Is it the tendons? Something in the tendons? I think part of it is I think it's all of that plus the size of the hands. I think that plays a part in it too. And I think maybe that's where it comes out from. Heavy-handed. Speaking of heavy, people have had it with this whole thing of, speaking of IBFP, like he calls it, the brothers. These people not fighting one another because they happen to be friends, they're brothers and all that. And Coach Kenny Ellis is on board with that. Check out what he had to say here in this interview here. Hold on a second. Talking about all these guys that don't want to fight each other.
They buddies, man.
Oh yeah.
That's this new breed, man. These motherfuckers friends.
Oh.
They spar, they want to box, all this. That's why I hate for fighters going around jumping in these gyms, sparring, all this, call it iron shop and all, then they become buddies and shit. Fuck that. Running around sparring.
Yeah.
Shit, bullshit.
Tank say he ain't got no friends in box.
Then you just sparred the motherfucker, hung out with him, now you don't want to fight.
Yeah, you done met his parents.
I'm having a hard time understanding what he's saying, but I'll say this, man. Because I used to say Caleb Plant, when he was undefeated, he had an attitude. He sort of mellowed out a little bit now, but he used to have a real attitude. And he used to say, there's no friends in my division. And I used to say, man, he's got a fucking, I know, he rubbed me the wrong way. But but it's one thing to be, because he would always, anytime he would see a potential opponent, he would mean mug them in person. And I said, okay, you don't have to do all of that. But it is true, though. But I do agree with this whole concept of, look, you don't have to go that far. But yeah, you can fight friends, acquaintances. I mean, Zurdo and Benavidez look like they were acquaintances. I don't think friends is the correct word, but they're acquaintances, and they're going to fight each other now. And there's been plenty of
Did
actual...
you hear what Zurdo said?
No, what did he say?
He said, David is my friend, but we in the ring is no friend. We don't fight. And after we friends.
I couldn't really understand what you were saying, but the cadence that you were saying.
I said, David is my friend, but you know,
David is my
in the
friend.
ring, there's no friend.
David is
There's
my
no
friend.
friend.
David is my friend. How am I gonna find my friend?
No, he talks like he's slow, bro. He talks like he's slow in English and Spanish.
I was gonna say he's like you know what he is? He's the Mexican Dubois.
Yeah.
Gracias,
he's got that blank staring like Dubois, like he's always smiling, and it's almost like it's almost like he's watching cartoons in his head or something, and that he's constantly smiling.
Like, when you see kids on Down syndrome, like they're happy for no reason.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, man, I mean that's surdo. So yeah, there's no friends in boxing, and I'm getting people are getting tired of this whole thing. I suspect they're gonna put a lot of pressure on Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson
But
to
what were you
fight.
saying about the brothers BDA?
Yeah, well, I was saying that the people are tired of that. People want to see these guys fight each other. There's no such thing.
Isn't that dude himself a brother? I don't get it.
Shakur Stevenson is half Puerto Rican, so I don't.
No, I'm saying IBFP.
Uh-huh.
Isn't he a brother himself?
I think so. By the way, I'm trying to play I'm trying to show a tweet here. It's not. I think somebody erased it. It doesn't exist. Anyway, I was going to pivot to Oshaki Foster because he's going to be fighting Raymond Ford. I forget the exact date, but somewhere in June, I believe. And they've been going back and forth. It's been a war of words on Twitter for the last at least 2 years. It's a genuine rivalry. And Ford posted, he's from New Jersey, and he posted a picture of him sparring Hitchens, who's from New York, I believe, so from the New Jersey, New York area, and Shakur Stevenson. And he posted a picture of them posing after sparring. And then Foster, but I think he erased the tweet. He posted that picture and he said, Ford is trying to bring the Avengers to help him. So he's making fun of him for because it's true. Raymond Ford's the one who's summoning those guys as he's gonna summon their powers to beat Oshaki Foster. And then Oshaki Foster replied, and yeah, see, sure enough, I post unavailable. I don't know why he erased it. Raymond Ford posted, sound a little word, little bro, and then a couple of emojis there. So they're still going back and forth on the Twitter here. Speaking of Oshaki Foster, he was on the temple. He was at the Versace temple with Mr. Versace, and he says he'd like to fight. Among some of the guys he'd like to fight is Shakur Stevenson. And he had this to say about Shakur Stevenson. Let me play you this clip here.
Kind of set himself up with this fight. He said, he kind of set himself up with this fight. He said, this is man's. He said he ain't giving him an opportunity till he gets. I give him an opportunity. Well, here go his opportunity. After I crush him, you're gonna have to stand on your word.
All right, so you got that Texan drawl there that's making it hard to understand what he's saying. But he's saying that Shakur Stevenson said, give Raymond Ford an opportunity. So he's saying, okay, now you set yourself up because I'm giving him the opportunity, and now you're going to have to give it to me after I beat Raymond Ford, which isn't a given, by the way. It's not a given that he beats Raymond Ford. So he better stick to fighting Raymond Ford instead of focusing on all these other.
130.
Excuse me?
I think that's at 130.
Yes, the fight is at 130, but I suspect that he's expecting Shakur Stevenson to move back down to 135.
I don't think Stevenson's moving back down.
I have a hard time seeing it, man. Although with Snack, anything's possible, man. I mean, all these guys, Bam, Jaron Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, that's what the Snack does for a lot of these guys. It allows him to cut weight. So I think Shakur Stevenson, who is with Snack, could manage to do that. Interestingly enough, they asked about who else would you like to fight, and he said, well, I want Foster, that is. They asked him who he would like to fight next. He said he also like to fight the winner of the Cepeda versus Roach fight, which is coming up. It's being overlooked. And they asked him, well, who do you...
good?
Yeah, it would be good. And he said, well, who do you think won the fight? He says, well, I wasn't really scoring that well, but I mean, I have no problem with the draw. So he's not one of those guys that is choosing sides and, well, I gotta go with I gotta go with my brother, but yeah, that. But he admitted that he wasn't even really scoring it, so who knows what he's really saying. So yeah, he wants Shakur Stevenson as well. Hey, people are saying that Shakur Stevenson versus Haney would be a boring fight. The Foster fight would also be boring. So I'm not really interested in Shakur Stevenson versus Foster. There was a clip of Zab Judah claiming Crawford didn't really want to fight Ennis, and because he never actually sent him a contract, which. I mean, again, the whole thing of, well, he never sent him a contract, so he was never serious about it. Yeah, but what's the timeline, though? Because if Crawford already had the Canelo fight lined up, then that supersedes anything else, as far as I'm concerned. Also, in the news, Steve Claggett, the Canadian journeyman, is going to be fighting... What is this? I saved a link here for that fight, and then it's not even showing up anymore. I mean, I'll tell you, these links here. Anyway, Steve Claggett is going to be fighting Adam Azim. No, what's his first name? Azim, anyway, 140-pound contender who looked very good in his last fight, dismantling Kurt Scobie. I think that was his name. In some undercard in England, I forget which undercard it was. This is a good fight, let me tell you, because Azim has shown that he can box off the back foot, but he's also got power, very explosive. Against Azim, he showed that he could box off the back foot, but that he was also going for the knockout, which he ended up getting late in the fight. So I like Azim. Now, so far, the matchmaking has been a little bit selective, like, for example, taking on an old Sergey Lipinets, and I think Chon Cepeda, too. He beat a past his peak Chon Cepeda. But this one, again, it's a little bit of selective matchmaking because Steve Claggett is 36 years old, and the way he's been fighting, the way that you saw him in the Teofimo Lopez fight, that's the way he's been fighting since the beginning of his career. And it's been an 18-year-long career, by the way. He turned pro in 2008, I believe. So that's a long time to be fighting the way he does. And not for nothing, but he went the distance against Teofimo Lopez, but he ate some bombs in that one. He ate some bombs. So at the age of 35, which is when he fought Teofimo Lopez, so thereabouts, going through that type of fight, that could have taken something out of him. And so this is very good matchmaking from Azim. Because if he manages to stop Claggett, whereas Teofimo Lopez couldn't, that adds a lot of prestige and cachet to his resume, to his dossier. That's the type of asterisk that you want on your wins. Like, hey, I'm the one that stopped the guy that, the bigger name couldn't put a dent in. So very interesting fight. Excuse me?
I stopped the Claggett.
I stopped the Claggett. And this is taking place later on this month, the 30th of May, because yes, indeed, we are in the month of May. May the 1st. So in 30 days from now, we will be seeing that fight. And it's a pretty interesting matchup. Pretty interesting indeed. I got Azim in that one, but you never know. Claggett could pull off the upset. That's what he's gunning for.
Okay, so VDA, so these fights kind of creep up on me, right? I try not to pay attention too much so that when it's fight week, I kind of do get excited.
Uh-huh.
So Inoue's fighting on Friday and Benavidez on Saturday. Is that how it's happening? Or tomorrow morning? Is he fighting in the morning?
Well, it's in the morning for
Saturday?
us. It's Saturday morning, but it's Saturday night in Japan, I believe, right? Because they're ahead of us.
Okay, so it'll be within 24 hours, right? I mean, within like the next 15 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that's what's up.
Yeah, all these fights are creeping up on us, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good month of May. Let me check the BDA.
Is he gonna be on Top Rank?
Which one?
The Inoue and Nakatani.
It's. I mean, I think Top Rank has a stake in Inoue, but it's gonna be on the zone. But I don't know if it's gonna be a Top Rank. Well, actually, no, I don't. You know what? I don't even know. They usually do the international telecast for Inoue fights. But this fight is on the zone. It's not pay-per-view, thankfully.
Okay.
I don't think they wanted to pull a trigger on 2 pay-per-views on the same day. I think people would have rioted on that one. But I'm looking at the schedule here for the month of May. And what we've got is, okay, so tomorrow we got 2 big fights. Then on the 9th of May, we've got Angelo Leo taking on Reese Alim. I think that's going to be on Pro Box. And earlier that day, Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. That will be a shootout.
Nice.
A shootout. I'm looking forward to that one. Are you surprised that a lot of people are favoring Wardley in that one?
No, I'm favoring Wardley.
Is that right? Oh,
that's right.
All right. Because I'm, somebody in the Discord was saying, well, Dubois has the superior dossier, and of course, dossiers don't win fights, but still, like Wardley's dossier isn't really all that great, and he's really entering Deontay Wilder type territory where he's pulling out fights because of his punching power. He's losing rounds, losing fights, or at worst, the fights are even, or at best, rather, and then he pulls it out with his power. So
I agree, but some of the guys he's doing this against, they're not bad fighters. Like say Joseph Parker, I don't know how Dubois would look against him, or Justice Lee. Would he be outboxing Dubois until he gets knocked out as well? How would that fight look?
It's a good point. Or an interesting question, rather. Also in the undercard of Fabio Wardley versus Dubois, you got Jack Rafferty, undefeated British fighter, taking on Ekau Esuman, who the last time we saw him, I believe, was against Cadrol El Gato, and El Gato made him bleed and stopped him, surprisingly. So Jack Rafferty getting a step up there and getting a Kausuman. Also on the undercard, Jared Anderson, who is now being co-promoted, I believe, by Queensberry, or I don't know if he's being fully promoted by Queensberry, taking on a big dude in Solomon Dakris. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I'm gonna call him Solomon Kane. He's taking on Solomon Kane and 10-round heavyweight action. So they're getting Jared Anderson primed and ready, and perhaps they're marinating him. And this is something we talked about, Sobers. Remember, possibly marinating him for Moses Aitama. So
Yep, that's his purpose. He'll be sacred food for Atama.
they're feeding him, right? They're keeping him nice and fat and plump.
Fattening him up. You know, when they do the I like to do historical references. You know, when the Aztecs, where they would choose someone to sacrifice to one of their gods, they would give him a year of pleasure. They fatten him up. They give him women. They give him men. That's what he wanted. And you know, after a year of pleasure, he was nice and fat like a little pig. They stick his ass, rip out his heart with all the extra cholesterol, and they give it to their what's his name? Dang, Miklan. Right? What's his name?
You talking about Nahuatl or?
No, yeah.
I don't know the term. It's too early in the morning for me to come up with these terms, man. We'll look it up. We'll Google it. I wanted to play you.
Miklan Tehukli, something like that.
Look at you with the pronunciation, man. Don't forget
Miklan Tehukli. I don't know, something like that.
Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Yeah, I'm looking for. Yeah, depending on how Jared Anderson looks, that's a compelling fight because that would be Aitama fighting a guy about his size. And say what you want about Jared Anderson, he's crazy. He doesn't have the mentality for a pro fighter or for a long range career, or whatever. But he still has quick hands and relatively heavy hands. So it would be the first time that Aitama would fight somebody who has similar attributes to him. I'm not saying the same, but comparable. So depending on how Jared Anderson looks, this could be the lifeline that he needs. And again, I'm not completely sold on Aitama. Again, I was very impressed with what I saw against Jermaine Franklin, but then again, Jared Anderson is not a short, fat heavyweight like Jermaine Franklin. So very interested in seeing that one. What are people in the chat saying here? We get Jack Cousteau saying, my boy Riff Rafferty. My boy Riff Raff. James Burrell says, Haney brings all the gays. Yeah, a lot of his fans tend to be a little bit on the fruity side. Morbid DC says Jared Anderson was a less great hope for Black America at the heavyweight division. I mean, we're not gonna. It's too early in the morning to get into that. But Jacques Cousteau makes an interesting point. He says the Clark win hasn't aged very well. That's true. Frazier Clark just recently lost to Justin Hooney. Although you got to give credit to Worley for knocking Clark out, whereas Hooney can't compete with that type of firepower. Jacques Cousteau says Hooney was a desperation KO. Well, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Eric Rose, shout out to Eric Rose, says Worley gets walloped. Maybe he does. I want to talk about that later on. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say it now. Shane McGuigan was on the record. He used to train Dubois. And he said something interesting about Dubois. He says, Dubois just won't listen. He says, I think it benefits Fabio Wardley if they're having a shootout, which, makes sense because Wardley is a power puncher and that's usually how he wins fights. He says, I could have said right in front of Daniel and tell him, box his ears off and just use your jab because Daniel has the fundamentals. He's got the feet, he says. He's got great balance. He's an amazing athlete. He's got a phenomenal jab, blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous. It's like a horse hitting you every time, but he will not listen. I tell him to just use the jab and make it boring, and he'll think, nah, I'm going for it. That's the truth, he says. The biggest problem with this fight is Daniel's mindset, McGuigan continued. If he can get into his head that he has to box and make it not boring, but just win it on the jab, he wins the fight very comfortably. But he will not. He will go straight for him, and that means he'll either knock him out or get knocked out. Sobers, what do you think about that? Are Dubois' skills and jab underrated?
One thing I do think that I noticed after you brought it up one time.
You're sounding very muffled.
What about now?
Now you're clear. Yes.
I was gonna say one thing that I noticed about after you brought it up about Dubois. That you said he had pretty fast feet. And I was like, come on, he's a big. Oh, but then I see him move around the ring. He does have pretty fast feet for a guy's size. I think that might be his best attribute, whether he knows it or not. Mm-hmm. And that coupled up with his power. He's a problem. Dude. He can always be a problem.
Yeah, and what?
He just has a brain the size of a peanut. So that's his Achilles heel, so to speak.
Yeah, I was rewatching because Baby Miller just recently got notched a win on the Zone, and I said, let me rewatch the Daniel Dubois fight. And Dubois managed to do something that a lot of people didn't think he was going to be able to do back then. Because remember that he was still, that was 2023, and people still just remembered him quitting against Joe Joyce and then almost getting his ass knocked out by Lorena. Oh, and then quitting against Usyk. And so that's what people remembered, and a lot of people thought, well, he might not be able to make it through. He'll probably look good early on against Baby Miller, but then Baby Miller's pressures is going to be too much. And not for nothing, but Dubois managed to stay strong for all 10 rounds and then managed to stop Baby Miller. He was moving well for most of the fight. Now, granted, Baby Miller said that he took the fight on short notice, so there's that. I think that was an actual reason, not necessarily
But he didn't have time to cycle on and off or what?
Well, maybe. But then, hey, look, he out-jabbed Anthony Joshua, which is something that I wasn't expecting. So, yeah, I think Shane McGuigan is onto something there. I think he's onto something. I tell you what people aren't onto. They're not onto this Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey fight. According to Mr. Pull-Up, who's got good takes when it comes to tickets and all that, he's saying it's just another MVP show. Apparently, this fight is not selling well. Now, Sobers, we're pivoting into MMA territory here a little bit, but it's interesting because the reason why I bring this up is because it's going to air on Netflix. And I don't think Netflix cares too much about the attendance. For them, it's about how many people are actually going to tune in onto Netflix so that they can see all those sweet advertisements that they're going to be putting on there. All that sweet advertisement revenue that's going to be raining in.
All those advertisements in between rounds.
Exactly. But are you surprised? Are you surprised that this fight isn't selling well, or is this about what you expected?
No, this is a trash fight. This is a trash fight, top to bottom. I mean the card. I'm sorry. You got Francis Ngannou fighting Francis Philip. Like who? Like who the fuck is he fighting?
Prince
I don't
Philip?
know the guy he's fighting.
Right.
And then Gina Carano. She hasn't fought in damn near 20 years. Ronda Rousey. No one cares about her nasty grandma body looking ass bitch. Like, no one even likes her in the WWE. Have you seen her fucking teeth? I hate this bitch. Have you seen her teeth, bro? They look long as hell. She has long ass teeth. She has 9-inch teeth. Whenever she opens her mouth, I just can't stand her. She still thinks she's some kind of hot commodity. She was trying to trash the UFC because they didn't want to overpay her for this trash fight.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And it just, this fight's going to do bad. They're going to look terrible in there. You can tell that if you look at the first press conference between them and then the second one, you can already tell that Ronda Rousey's on steroids. Her traps look insane now. She went looking for like an old man, so now she was looking like Alistair Overeem in his prime. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
She's looking like Ubereem now, and the roid rage is everywhere. She's just getting mad at other fighters, like talking shit about Kayla Harrison. Another roid ape in the UFC that was, but she would mollywop her. She's talking about her like, you could never dream what I've been doing and this and that. Like, you're right, bitch, because you were a bronze medalist and she was a 2-time gold medalist. You aren't the fucking same. And she would fucking drag her. She would, what's the word? Ragdoll her ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's the other thing I want to.
I never liked Ronda Rousey. I never liked her hubris. There's no part of her that's humble or. He's just like, I deserve this and I'm the best. And if you don't like it, it's because you suck. And like, you were never that good, bitch. So it's just this crazy, inflated self-worth she has. She's very pretentious. That's the word.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't stand that about her. So I really hope that, and she has this weird thing where she's making up this storyline between her and Gina Carano where like we've been destined to fight each other ever since I saw her on TV that one time. And I told myself I could whoop her ass. Bitch, she don't know you. She doesn't know when that happens. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, she doesn't know this weird rivalry that you've been building it on your own. This beef is one-sided. You understand? So, this is a trash fight, and I really hope Gina Carano puts the beaters on her, which she will, because even Gina Carano being, retiring like 10 years before Ronda Rousey started fighting, she showed she had more balls than her even back then because she fought Cyborg Santos in her prime.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the name? Not Cyborg. Yeah. And what's the name? Never wanted to do that. Rousey never wanted to do that.
Interesting point. I've heard that, by the way. I've heard of that. By the way, speaking of trash, somebody believes that your opinion is trash. We Fight All Night in the chat says Rousey was always big and talked this way, and Kayla Harrison isn't on roids. You sound stupid.
Let me put a photo of Kayla Harrison for you BDH to see to see who sounds stupid.
All right, and I'm gonna be opening up the StreamYard as promised. We, I gotta take a latrine break at this point, but I'm gonna open up the StreamYard. It's a big on the eve of war. We are. It's a big fight weekend, and so it's Friday. It's Friday morning. Why not put the StreamYard link and dabble with the people a little bit, talk with them, see who jumps in, maybe some old friends.
Here, BDH. Check out these photos. She's all natty, baby.
Oh, come on. I mean, yeah, look, I don't know much about this subject, but one thing I do know is about who's on roids. And I mean, hold on, let me post it here. Hey, what's going on? Give me 2 seconds. You know how it works here. You got to give me a little time. Give me time to put on the photograph here. And she's a UFC. Okay, yeah, obviously she's UFC. It says UFC right there. Look at this. Hold on. All right, look at this. She's not on anything. This is natural physique for a woman. A woman cannot produce this amount of muscle mass without something, unless she's Russian. And even then. And then why are these women so intent on looking like men, but then they want to put on makeup?
Look at that dude.
I mean, come on. Hi, honey.
It's ma'am.
Hey, Food TV found like that guy. That guy's actually a rapper. That it's ma'am guy. He raps about trans issues and trans rights or whatever. What
Definitely not on steroids, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. She's that's a roid fest right there going on in there. Oh yeah, so StreamYard. So hold on a second. StreamYard. I always forget how this works. I don't usually, me with the StreamYard. And you were the one that's telling me that it's not worth it, right? To pay for it?
I don't think so. It used to be because it was a little bit cheaper. It used to be a little bit cheaper, but now I feel like it's a bit overpriced. It's like double. The basic plan it's more than double. It's like 150 plus price increase. So
yeah. Now most of the people in the chat are agreeing that is a roid thing going on there. Hey, speaking of, well, not roids, but snack and all that. There's not only is there the narrative going on now that excuse me, that supposedly Crawford docked Boots, but now they're talking about how Shakur Stevenson supposedly docked Tank Davis and all that. This video came out. Now this is about Tank apparently too. Apparently, I don't really know what this proves, but I'm gonna get into it. But I gotta go to the latrine. You know what? No, I'll play the video and then I'll let you cook a little bit the sobers, and that way you can cover for me while I go to the latrine. But check this video out here.
How come you remember that and don't remember why you left after the second spawn?
I don't know what was going on at the time. I don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't want to tell you nothing false.
I'm not gonna put it out why you left, but you remember.
Why you think I left?
It came out your mouth.
Let me hear this. I want to hear
it. It came out your mouth, Shakur. You gonna deny that shit?
What I say?
You don't remember saying, yo, I gotta leave tomorrow. You fucked my tooth up in the back. I gotta go get this shit fixed.
This nigga's lying.
Oh, my goodness.
This nigga is lying.
You gotta stop that shit.
I like how that guy gets up. Like, I don't know who's lying, though. Is the guy overselling it?
Stevenson's clearly lying.
Is that right? Well, let me finish the clip and then... Oh, wait, go ahead. Yeah, go.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish the clip and then I want to hear this analysis. But hold on.
This nigga's lying.
Oh, my goodness.
This nigga is lying.
That's how I get up when I hold it in too long and I think, yeah, in just another second I'm going to go to the bathroom and then whoops, all of a sudden a little starts coming out.
This nigga is lying.
You gotta stop that shit. You have to leave. You have to leave, Shakur.
On my daughter, that nigga ain't fucked my tooth.
You said I gotta go get my shit fixed.
Nigga, do you remember the sparring sessions?
Yeah, that was the last one.
Do you remember how the sparring sessions went?
We was gonna spar some more, but you couldn't because you had to leave to go get.
Do you remember how the sparring session?
If you pull your dinner racket, they said a loose mold.
This nigga lying. This nigga is lying.
Oh my god.
This nigga, hey, he trolling right now, y'all. He trolling.
I'm not trolling.
That shit.
I'm not trolling.
On what? You better not put that on nothing. I'll put that on my daughter. You capping right now, nigga.
Don't involve the kids, but you know that shit happens, Shakur.
Nigga, that ain't never happened. That's cap.
Well, it don't matter.
All right, I think we get the gist of it. Sobers, you said you believe that Shakur is the one who's lying.
Yeah, the way he was stuttering and stammering, I heard someone else doing that the other day. They were confronted with a hard truth.
Oh.
So when people get the pressure put on them, they start like, I mean, it's not what you. I mean, what happened? I don't remember. Like all of a sudden, you don't remember what happened. You tell me what happened, and then when he tells you, you're calling him a liar. You don't even remember what happened. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
not a contradictory word.
It would be pretty nasty to do the whole on my family members. Like, why would you do that? I never really understood that when people do that, and then when you don't do it,
it's
people.
Not even because that ain't his daughter. That's why.
Okay, come on, anyway. Allegedly, you don't know that. You don't know that, Sobers. Come on, man. Huh?
That's some rapper's kid. You know, that bitch has been ran through the one he's with.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Jeez, Louise, I'm telling you, it's too early in the morning for this type of stuff. There's Sobers. I'm telling you, man, we're getting. You know, maybe we should compare the photos. I don't know if there's photos out there of his daughter, and we can compare the faces, her face and Shakur's, and see if they're actually sharing the same DNA. No, but you know what though? I mean, okay, the guy's saying, well, you know, we knocked out the tooth and you had to leave. Okay, I can believe that happened because we have seen Shakur Stevenson pause sparring sessions. Yeah, hold up. You know, he's calling timeouts during sparring. So I can believe that he might have done that. But he did ask the question, when we actually did end up sparring, what happened? And the other guy didn't want to answer. So
there might be, look, so Shakur Stevenson is trying to like deflect, right? So maybe Shakur Stevenson did have a good sparring set, he was landing more shots or whatever. But that doesn't mean he didn't get cracked and he didn't get scared and he felt his tooth loose. And maybe he went to the doctor and they told him, hey, nothing's wrong with your tooth and you'll just bring a little bit. And that's why he can say nothing wrong with the tooth and not be lying. But that doesn't mean he didn't say that and he didn't think there was something wrong with his tooth at one point. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
That's how these people are. Like they'll try to make it so that they're not lying, but they're leaving out the truth, like half the story.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility for sure. But again, it's interesting. Like, you know, okay, what would it prove? Would it prove that Tank Davis would beat Shakur Stevenson? You know what I mean? So this dude, apparently that dude that was the guy that got up and, oh my God, apparently I think that guy is part of Tank Davis's team, evidently, right? Because he's talking about the sparring sessions, blah, 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 that he witnessed. This is what they're obsessed with on Twitter. And it's usually Devin Haney fans, Tank Davis fans, and Shakur Stevenson fans. Like, and I'm not saying that the people who are fans of those guys are casuals, but there are a lot of casuals who happen to be fans of these dudes on Twitter, and then they don't even really watch these guys' fights or even purchase them. What they're more interested in is being on Twitter and talking about who's avoiding whom. That's the thing that they're most obsessed with, and that's the thing they get off on. It's like T-sector type stuff. And so they just have 3-hour podcast talking about, well, he said this, and then he said that, but then he didn't do this. And I'm thinking sparring sessions. Did you know that, you know, there's been pictures of Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson sparring, and they used to spar. In fact, I think Shakur Stevenson sparred Lomachenko a couple of weeks before Lomachenko fought Haney. And I don't think Lomachenko was really giving it to him that hard in there, for lack of a better term, because Shakur Stevenson actually ended up picking Haney to beat Lomachenko. And then and I think he actually said afterwards, when he said that Lomachenko had beaten Haney, but then they put too much pressure on him, and he ended up changing his mind and said, no, actually I rewatched and I think it was pretty close, or closer than I thought. But he'd said initially, when he said that Lomachenko had won, he said, I was surprised about how good Lomachenko was. So evidently Lomachenko wasn't showing, in that last sparring session, it seemed, didn't show Stevenson his best. But what's interesting, why I'm bringing up sparring sessions is because what do sparring sessions really tell us? Because it came out a couple of weeks ago that Shakur Stevenson said that when he sparred Lomachenko, the first time they sparred was 6 rounds. And that he says he got the best out of Lomachenko. But then the second time they sparred, Lomachenko insisted on 12 rounds. And Shakur Stevenson claims that 8 rounds he did well. But then that last 4, Lomachenko just put it on him. And I believe that because that's what Lomachenko does. He outboxes guys for the first 8 rounds, but he allows it to he's not going all out. And then by the time he gets them tired in the 8th round with all his movement and his feints and all that, that's when he closes the show strong and tries to go for the knockout. So
I won the sparring session 8-4.
Exactly. Yeah, but I wanted 8-4. But what I'm saying is a lot of people would have picked. I know some people who picked Shakur Stevenson over Lomachenko, but what are you going to counter and say no? But Lomachenko got the best of him in sparring. No, sparring is sparring. So all this talk about how
some people would say that actually.
Exactly. Well, yeah, people do say that all the time. It's like, well, this guy beat this guy in sparring, so he's going to beat him in the real fight. And it's like, no, man, not that. It can be an indication of something that's going to happen in the fight, but not always. So I guess what I'm trying to say this in my long-winded way is people make too much of it sometimes. Listen, I got to go to the latrine here, and nobody's jumping on StreamYard. Amazing.
Nakatani, stop being a little bitch. We were talking about you earlier. Now you're in the chat.
Jump on the StreamYard, people.
BDA heard your little live stream talking shit. Right? I know you don't think anybody listened to it because you don't get any views, but some people did hear the shit you were saying. So get up here, bro, because your whole career at BDA, the BDA boxing debate arena is at stake.
So, Sobers, I got to go take the latrine. Let's see if somebody jumps on. If somebody jumps on, we can stay on for a half an hour more or thereabouts. Maybe more, depending on what happens. But I do have to go to the latrine. So, Sobers, if you could take over and maybe just break down. Again, it's a big fight that people are talking about on Twitter, which unfortunately probably will never happen. But how would you see Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis going? And I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I have the same opinion I always had about it. I think Shakur Stevenson is too big, too fast. Gervonta Davis at 130 and 135, he's already kind of pushing his frame past its limit. He's kind of a little dude. So he's Shakur Stevenson was always too big, too fast for Gervonta Davis, and Gervonta Davis is pushing himself past his frame at 135 because he's a little dude with a big head, but he has pretty good punching power and decent speed, so that's kind of allowed him to perform at 135 at the championship level. But like I said, Shakur Stevenson is just too big. He really is a welterweight, maybe a 154-pounder who was crusading as a featherweight at one point. So yeah, I would always have given him the edge, unless the only thing can really say that how Gervonta Davis could win was you give him a puncher's chance, and maybe he would land a punch or two that would hurt Shakur Stevenson, but I would assume that this guy could take at least 1 or 2 punches, and he would be able to outbox him. So, yeah, I think Shakur Stevenson would always beat him. Maybe at 126 would have had a better chance because he would have been weight drained and younger, and maybe been able to big brother him. But at this point, Shakur Stevenson would be the big little brother, and yeah, I think he would just win that fight. I would favor him in that fight, in that matchup. Gervonta Davis just throws 2 little punches. He doesn't throw enough punches to really pressure Stevenson. It would be at Stevenson's pace, and he would be faster, so he would be able to touch and go without much of a problem. So yeah, I just think Shakur Stevenson would have always beaten him.
And you know what's going to happen, right? So if Shakur Stevenson beats him, the Tank Davis fans are probably going to say, "Oh, he waited for him to get old because look at how he looked against Lamont Roach. He was already on the decline." It's like old. The guy's in his early 30s. But they're going to say one side's going to come out with the excuses. It's the name of the game. I opened up the StreamYard here, and we got Pure Boxing. Pure Boxing, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, man? Just seeing who wants to sit on my dick. I'm stroking it right now. Like, who wants to sit on it on the big fat head of my cock?
I don't think anybody really wants that, man. I mean, you know what? You almost got me there with that. I was gonna say, well, why don't you show it to us, and maybe we'll come to a determination. But no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
I don't think it'll fit on the camera. I don't think. But if anybody wants it, I mean, we could meet up.
Well, there you go. Hey, listen, man. There's a little website called Grindr for that. You can probably find a lot of friends there, if you know what I mean.
I'd rather have somebody who knows how to give blows to the head.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. So, Sobers, I wanted to ask you this, man. There's I just recently found out because apparently it's a big deal in the UFC, but I didn't really know about it because I don't follow it. Chimaev. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Chimaev. That's the guy that just lays in praise on people, right? For all 5 rounds. Sobers. All right, I'm gonna have to go back to the gay guy.
Or ask that again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Ask your gay buddy.
Yeah, but Chimaev is the guy that. No, don't leave me with the gay guy. Chimaev. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. Unless you're not gay, then there's something terribly wrong with you, as Norm Macdonald would say. But Sobers, what do you think of Chimaev? That's the guy that lays in praise on people for 5 rounds, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, because I was seeing that he's going to be fighting Sean Strickland, and let me tell you, people. Apparently, there's a big.
He's gonna wrestle fuck him. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, the guy just left. The guy just left. He just wanted to say he liked cock. Nothing wrong with liking cock. If that's what you like getting dick down or whatever, fine. But this is a boxing show. We don't really need to know about your sexual desires. But yeah, the Chimaev versus Sean Strickland fight. First of all, I'm surprised that Sean Strickland's still getting another shot. I think he beat a Mexican in his last fight by knockout. So I assume that's why they're... And also, he seems to be a relatively big name in today's UFC star-starved world, so maybe that's why they're making it that fight. But the last time I went to the taqueria to watch a Strickland fight, it was against Dracula, and it was a boring fight. The very few punches thrown, a lot of laying and praying. Now he's fighting Chimaev. And apparently I saw that there was some controversy about Sean Strickland and some of the things he's been saying. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, what like? First of all, controversy. Too many people now are attracted to the UFC just to ask them a question, to try to put them on the spot. Like, you see, they're Republicans, which I don't really care. I mean, and by the way, I do admit that Dana White made a big mistake of aligning himself or being too open about who he supports politically. Because you're going to divide your audience, at least 50% or thereabouts. So, just keep it sports related or keep it entertainment related. You don't got to get into the whole politics things. But anyway, that's what Dana White did. And apparently that fight is not doing all that well. And that Chimaev fight, that's the other one. That Chimaev versus Dracula fight, that's another one that I went to see. I think I saw that one at Taqueria. And it was a boring fight. So I'm thinking, are people really interested in seeing Chimaev face fucking this guy for 5 rounds? I don't know. Maybe the gay guy who just came into the StreamYard, maybe he could tell us. But no, I don't think anyone else is going to want that. By the way, I'm posting the StreamYard link again in case anybody wants to jump on. Give us their thoughts on boxing, or they want to advertise their Grindr account, whatever. Just make sure to jump on. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I think we've covered everything that's boxing here related. And no takers here for the StreamYard. I'm surprised. Usually people like to do the StreamYard thing, but I think we've said it all here. Steve Claggett, I'm looking through the news here. Yeah, Telkines. Yeah, I know you're there, man. You got to jump in and give us your take on the whole Sobers thing. And hopefully that fight happens, by the way. Hopefully that fight happens. Bam Rodriguez, by the way, he said Nakatani has a chance versus Inoue. And, I have often made the mistake of asking people, does opponent A have a chance against opponent B? And of course, everyone has a chance. I think the better question is how much of a chance? And of course, I think Nakatani, I've said it before, I've said it at the beginning of the show, I think he has a better chance than most of Inoue's past opponents. Another thing I wanted to show here is Jaron Ennis. Check out his hitting this contraption here, this wall contraption, which is perfectly fitted for uppercuts. And you'll notice the way he's throwing those shots. Look at that. He's getting some torque into them. And it's easy to do this in the bag and all that, but it's another thing to do it in the ring, and he manages to do it. And I think that might end up being the difference between him and Zayas. Zayas can crack a little bit. I think he's under... Obviously, he's not a big puncher per se, but he does get his opponent's attention. But you'll notice, watch how Zayas throws some shots and watch how Ennis throws. It's night and day with the torque on those shots. Shout out to Recognize the Matrix in the chat. Shout out to Recognize says, good morning, BDA. Shout out to Recognize. Usually don't see him this early in the morning or in the day, but shout out to him. He's here. I'm posting the StreamYard round one. We got somebody jumping here. Round one. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing, BDA?
Fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Good to hear from you here, round one. Curious to hear your thoughts on anything we've talked about so far. Inoue, Nakatani, Benavidez, Ramirez, all the news here. Crawford
Oh,
going at it on Twitter. What's up, man?
oh yeah, man. This is gonna be a good day of boxing. Well, man, we got Nakatani and Inoue. It's gonna be a early morning type of shit for me because I'm in California, so I'm gonna have to be
Oh.
up early for that. But I'm gonna have to go with Inoue on this one. I feel like he's gonna stop Nakatani. I feel like Inoue, he's got the power to do it. The thing is, if Nakatani can stay, because I don't know if he can stay with someone like Inoue. He's durable. I could see that. We've seen him that, but is he durable enough to stand with the monster? For 12 rounds, and I don't see that, man. I really don't. I think Inoue is gonna pack him up by the 8th or 9th round. I'm going with Inoue by knockout, TKO, 8th or 9th round, and then the Zerto and Benavidez, man, I'm gonna go with let me talk about Munguia and Resendez because I think this is a good fight too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are talking about Canelo. He's gonna be there. David was saying he's gonna. I guess Canelo's there. He's gonna see him, stuff like that. And Munguia's there. Training partner. And this is gonna be a good fight with Resendez and Munguia. And Munguia is a guy that I always be like, damn. Can he come back after that knockout? I mean, he got knocked out by a guy with hands made out of croissants. This guy had 5 knockouts, man. The Frenchman, but he did good. Um, I'm thinking with Munguia, he can go 12 rounds with Resendez, but I think he could edge it out by unanimous decision. I feel like Munguia can edge it out with someone Resendez. I mean, Resendez is a tough, durable guy himself, and Munguia is too, right? But I'm leaning with Munguia on this one. 12 round unanimous decision. And then for the main event, Zerto Benavidez. This is going to be very interesting for me. We got the Mexican Cookie Monster moving up to the cruiserweight division, fighting Zerto. A very tough guy, Zerto. I mean, the only loss he has is Bivol. And we know what Bivol is, pound for pound, one of the best, right? This is gonna be a tough one, but I'm edging it out to Benavidez on this one. I think he's gonna get it done. Majority decision. He's gonna go 12 rounds. It could be a tough fight. The thing is about David, his hand speed is what's gonna do the thing for me. He's fast, he's quick. He has slow foot movement, but is the combinations he when he gets in the inside, he has great combinations. Bivol, I mean not Bivol, Zerto, he's doing a lot of punching, moving, boxing around. So if I see Zerto, like the old Zerto, just coming in, giving it to David, it's gonna be a tough fight, tough time for David. I mean, David, in the last couple fights I've seen him, he's gotten hit a couple times, especially we've seen him couple with the Morel and Glowstick, and we've seen him get hit plenty of times. But now it's like, damn, he's gonna get hit by a cruiserweight, a guy who's been at that weight division for quite some time now. At the same time, I'm giving the edge to David. David, majority decision. Yeah, BDA. That's my thing right there for the fights.
Well, it's interesting. You said you're gonna give the edge to one guy or the other, but we had a guy who jumping in here on the stream here who's of the left side persuasion, if you know what I mean. He bats for the other team, and he said he's gonna edge it during the fight. So it's interesting choice of words. You also said he's gonna pack it in, and that guy said that Inoue is gonna fudge back Nakatani. So there's a lot of interesting nomenclature going on right now with that, and a lot of parallels to draw in this narrative here. But I'm curious, man. You said Benavidez versus Ramirez. You're picking. You're saying you're giving Ramirez a chance. Those clips, and they were very short clips, mind you, but very short clips of Benavidez sparring Ramirez 10 years ago. What do you make of that? And did that sway your opinion?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's boring. That's years ago. I mean, I can't go with someone talking about sparring that was fucking years ago. I mean, these guys haven't sparred yet ever since that. And those are just sparring sessions. I mean, David over here talking about he sparred Bivol and he's yet to fight Bivol. You know, he talking about like he sparred him, like he fought him. And you know, David's talking about like, oh yeah, these were pay-per-view type sparring matches. David, calm down. Stop the cap. Y'all motherfuckers was sparring. Y'all motherfuckers was sparring. What are you even talking about? Pay-per-view type sparring matches. What the fuck does that even mean, bro? Like, God. But, you know, 10 years ago, they were sparring. That's the facts. And the facts is those were uh, those were guys with 10 years ago with the skills that they had, and now they have better skills and tools now, you know. So I can't go with David said pay-per-view type sparring. What the fuck kind of word is that?
He sounds like the type of guy who keeps a scorecard for those sparring rounds. Like, okay, I won that one. Okay, I won that one. Somebody ringside is he.
Hey, they had 100 rounds of sparring sessions. So what the fuck? Oh my god, man!
Yeah. How would
How
the
many
scorecards look
pay-per-views
for
was
that one? Yeah,
that?
you're right. 500 to 221 or something like that. But it's interesting. It seems like this is a story of hand speed this weekend because back to Inoue and Nakatani, Nakatani is pretty quick, but Inoue just seems to have that flash with him. I dare say, I think Inoue, okay, maybe not anymore, but for a while there, I think he was the fastest fighter in the world. Was that too crazy to say?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, anyway, he's just a small, fast guy. You know, he's coming up, moving up from the smaller divisions too. And these small guys are pretty fast hands. You know, they got them quick hand speeds and stuff. And Inoue too, it just looked like every time he move up, the hand speed is still there, and the power it translates to the division too. Nakatani's last fight just it was a rough fight for him too. His last fight, he had a tough, durable opponent as well. No joke for Nakatani on that one. A lot of people like were looking at it like, oh yeah, this guy should have not fight Inoue. And I after that fight, he had it just showed me like, oh man, I'd rather see Bam move up and fight Nakatani or something because I just feel like Inoue is gonna beat this guy. Like there's gonna be a back and forth fight. Maybe Nakatani could drop him. Who knows? But we've seen when you drop the monster, he gets back up. He rises like Godzilla and then fucking just kills your ass, just takes you down. I mean, we've seen it twice when he gets dropped. He just took them like he fucked the scorecards. I'm finishing this shit, you know? So Inoue, he has, and the way Inoue does too, like in his last couple fights, he hasn't been like really, that's how he got dropped. He's going in there, he's throwing fire with fire, he gets clipped. The last couple of times he's been looking like, not too much going in fire, but he's boxing a lot. He's being smart, strategic with it. And to me, Nakatani, he's gonna deal with some issues with Inoue's hand speed. I mean, the hand speed of Inoue is gonna give him some problems. And I think Inoue could even time him. Like the timing of Inoue is amazing, man. He got amazing timing, and like I say, I could see him knock him out, probably hit him with a body shot and just put him down or something. But yeah, man, I don't see Nakatani going 12 rounds with the monster.
Can we glean anything from the Sebastian Hernandez fight between against Nakatani, or is that just a completely different style that people shouldn't make too much about?
Well, the style too, yeah, it plays a difference too, because that other Hernandez guy, he had a style that, is just, I mean, yeah, man, the motherfucker's a warrior, like he's moving forward and stuff. And the thing about Nakatani, yeah, is like he can fight too, and he's, he has the reach and height advantage, I believe, over Inoue. So that there's that, but again, um, Inoue. Oh, it's just he's just that good, man. He's just that good, and he keeps showing me like, yeah, man, that you need something special to stop this guy or to beat him. You can't just have like height, weight. You can't just be a fighter from a division up because clearly it don't matter if you're a division up or not. But to me, that Hernandez fight kind of showed me the wrinkles that Nakatani has, and those the game plan that Inoue could use. Yeah, I could see him stopping Nakatani.
I mean, I'm thinking about it, and yeah, I mean, it's Inoue still has that substantial punching power. He's got the hand speed on top of that. I again, I'm still thinking maybe Nakatani. On paper, it makes sense to stand back and let Inoue jump on you, so you can counter him make the first move. But also, I think Inoue only gets better with throughout the fight, and he's always got that equalizer with him as well. So I think Nakatani, if I think he just at some point he should just maybe stand his ground and try to get that left hand in. And Inoue is probably already expecting that left hand, so you have to assume he's gonna go in there with that right glove pinned to his cheek in anticipation of a left hand, or maybe like Sober said, maybe Inoue drops it a little bit to sort of try to coax that left hand out so that he can counter it. I mean, I don't know. It remains to be seen. But then there's also the question: well, where would Inoue rank after beating Nakatani? Would he usurp Usyk and take the number one spot?
I would think so. If Inoue, I mean, to me, if Inoue is having fights, he's been more active than Usyk too. So I would put him above Usyk as pound for pound number one. He's fighting another uh, uh, champion, a great champion himself, right? You know, Nakatani is no joke. And two, the man's been active. He's always been active. This is why, like, even when people like Usyk or Bud, they fight and, you know, they're number one, they're only number one for the one time because Inoue is always fighting and always doing stuff. So I always have Inoue up on the number one spot because activity wise, you know, he's always fighting. He's the most active champion, you know. So yeah, if he does win, he's gonna be number one pound for pound for me for sure. If Nakatani wins, yeah, man, Nakatani's gonna be up there in the pound for pound list as well. I don't see that happening, but you know, it could happen. But you know, the pound for pound rankings to me, Inoue is gonna be number one. And yeah, man, I don't see no one beating him at 122.
Solbers, I don't know if you're back fully, but would you concur? Would Inoue become number one if he's to beat Nakatani this Saturday? Is he number one pound for pound?
So he'll definitely be number one in Japan's history, but I don't know. It'd be hard to beat. It'd be hard to beat Usyk, just because of that jump from cruiserweight to heavyweight. And, yeah, I wouldn't mind putting him there, right? Because it's going to be between Usyk and Inoue at this point. It's going to be who's getting there first, who's more active, who's putting more points up on the board, so to speak. And yeah, they're neck and neck as far as accomplishment goes and pound for pound status. So there's going to be a recency bias with them. So yeah, Inoue will be number one, and if Usyk does something, you know, interesting after Verhoeven, you know, because of that right there, that's probably going to hold him back from keeping that number one spot after Inoue beats Nakatani, if he does. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very interesting, man. This is going to be a very interesting fight. Inoue has shown that he can adapt throughout the fight, that he gets hurt. And people say, oh, he gets hurt and then he gets better. I don't know necessarily. Well, I guess maybe you could make the argument that he gets better because it almost seems he wakes up and says, oh, I actually have to watch out for something coming back. Yeah. And then that's when he minds his P's and Q's.
Never caught him with that left hook again after he dropped it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And neither did, Cardenas did, but not enough, you know, like it got to the point where he almost makes them desperate, where they're hiding it at first when they land it. And then after that, he makes them miss so much they become desperate and they're almost like just throwing left hooks out there, hoping they land, and they're just winging them.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting to see if Nakatani can keep up with Inoue, because Inoue is very good at with that in and out too. A lot of bounce on those legs of his. That's what they're comparing. You know, that the other day on Ring Magazine, Ring TV, they were asking about, well, is he the closest thing we have to Pacquiao? And I know for a lot of people it's going to be blasphemy to say that he's Pacquiao, but obviously he doesn't throw the volume of Pacquiao, and he's not as, you know, Pacquiao was a rat-tat-tat type of fighter. Inoue is more of a 1-2, and he's got slightly better technique than Pacquiao. But in terms of the bounce on those legs, true. Yeah, in terms of the bounce that he has on those legs, he is Pacquiao-esque for sure.
I think the move, the footwork Inoue has, it's undoubtedly pretty impressive too. I mean, yeah, you know, He could cut angles and stuff quick. Even the way he just moves and just pivots quick, some Pacquiao shit right there. Yeah, just the thing, he just doesn't throw them hands like that. He's more like, precise of how he's gonna, he's kind of like more cautious in the wind. He's gonna want to land more punches than anything. So yeah, he's kind of like that. Pacquiao just combinations, throwing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is a whole different style with them. But the footwork, yeah, they're both bouncing, both in and out. Fencing type of style. Yeah.
Well, it's certainly going to be very interesting to see. Let me tell you, Saturday. I mean, so hey, round one. You say you're on the West Coast, so right now it's about what, 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's 6, yeah, 6:12. Yeah, it's 6 a.m.
You're not on the
So I'm
pro.
gonna be up. I'm gonna be up early catching the Nakatani fight. I already just watched the one championship pay-per-view that was on Wednesday, and I had to catch it. So it's same timing on that.
Wait, that stuff's on pay-per-view.
One championship. Sometimes they'll have like pay-per-view like once every like 5-4
Once in a
months
blue
maybe.
moon.
Interesting. Is that the one that's
So
going out
let
of
me ask.
business, or?
Let me ask this guy. So that's the one where Rotan got knocked out by Takuru, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That was a good fight. Yeah.
Oh, what are you
So
guys
do you
talking about?
think that one of their biggest stars, BDA, is this guy Rotan? They're suing him for like I think over $1 million
Oh,
for breach of contract, and
Yeah, they're
he
suing
got
him like.
knocked out in his last fight, and it looked a little suspect to me. Do you think he took a dive in order to try to clear up some of that debt?
I mean, look, man, it's kind of hard to say that. I mean, the first fight was crazy too. I think Takeru, he was coming in with an injury, I believe, but he got knocked down that first fight, the first round too, and then he came back, did his thing, with a comeback fight. I mean, after that, he did his thing. And then coming into this Raw Tank fight was like the biggest thing. It was kind of like the biggest story I was looking at. And yeah, they were trying to sue him for 17 million. They had like 3 different countries that were suing him and shit like that. So yeah, I probably could have played a role in it. Like, who the fuck wants to? And it was like 2 weeks before the fight. Like, yeah, man, it was kind of messy. I felt like they need to run it back, but Takeru, I believed he retired. That was his last fight. I don't know why. I mean, he only has like 5 losses, and you know, um, 34
5
years old. He's a
losses.
young dude.
Sounds like a bum. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, that Takeru guy, he lost to what's that dude that does boxing now? Tenshin Nakasawa. There we go. He got
Yeah.
one loss to Tenshin.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I've been wanting to get into the Muay Thai thing. Technically, what is that? Round one fight, is that
One
kickboxing?
championship. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an organization where like
It's
they'll have
MMA,
like
it's
Muay
kickboxing,
Thai,
and Muay Thai.
MMA.
They show all.
Yeah, I remember like in 2019 or 2018 around there, they had a boxing champion, Thailand champion, super flyweight, I believe he was at the time, and then he was defending it against a Mexican fighter. But they've done certain shit like that. Most of the time, right now, they're doing more like kickboxing and Muay Thai. They're kind of like heavily leaning to
I
that.
think it was So Rung
Yes,
Savai. So Rung Savai.
yeah, yeah, but that shit's kind of like just like a whole fight organization thing. It's kind of running out of money or something because their strawweight
It's
division,
circling the
their women's
drain.
strawweight division was released, so they're kind of losing money too. They're burning a lot of money, and yeah, man, it doesn't look good for them as much too. Especially you're trying to get your biggest stars fucking sued. This is why I'm like, man, I'm tired of politics in the fucking game of fucking sports, man. Like, yeah, just leave it. I just want to watch fights. Like, fuck, man, I'm tired of hearing fighters getting fucked over.
Hey, by the way, speaking of, because you remind me of the Zufas DKO thing, and I'm actually getting a little bit tired of talking about it. But I just saw that I forgot to mention this. They just signed another big signing, Sergey Davidachenko, 40-year-old fighter. He's going to be fighting Zufa.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a big signing.
I know. I'm kidding. I was being sarcastic.
Zufa's doing their thing. I always kind of knew. I think their next fight, or they had the last time I saw some shit. Their throwing was that CBS fight, the Chris Billiam. He's gonna be fighting who is it, Rosicki? And it's
Rosinski, yeah.
crazy to me because like, yeah, bro, this is a good fight. And they're just throwing him together like that, and that's the Zuffa way, bro. Like, they ain't no
weren't you a
tomato
sparring
can for
partner,
you to
BD, for
fight.
Rosicky?
Excuse me, what did you say, Sobers?
Weren't you a sparring partner for Rosicky?
Well, no, I was a sparring partner for those small Thai guys, those flyweight Thai, and they beat the crap out of me. So I don't think I'd do well against Rosinski. Nah, okay. Yeah, Rosinski, apparently, there's a guy, incidentally, Sobers. There was a guy in the chat from Canada. I think he had a YouTube channel too, but I forget what his name was. But he said that Rosinski gets his ass kicked in sparring. he says he has amateurs who kick his ass. So I don't know how good Rosinski is really going to look against Chris Billon Smith, man. But in terms of the whatchamacallit, Davidchenko, he's 40 years old. He's a middleweight. I think he fought at super middleweight against Christian and Billy. Yeah, must have been. So I'm thinking, are they going to get him to move up 2 more pounds and take on Berlanga? Because remember, they don't have a super middleweight division.
That's kind of hard for me to say too. I believe he should be fighting at middleweight if he wants to, or if not, that's 175. But I think it's too much for him. Like, I think Berlanga is probably going to be at 175, and it's going to be tough for Berlanga. Like, who the fuck? He gonna get knocked out by Hot Rod or something, because I don't see him beating Hot Rod.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, no, yeah. But Berlanga is a big dude, man. 200 pounds apparently, and
yeah, he is. He is. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, can he do? Because remember, man, he's gonna get matched up with someone. He's not getting no tomato can. He's not getting a first round knockout like he's always been doing. That shit is over with. You signed a Zuffa, you're gonna get a tough fight, bro.
yeah, that's a thing, man. I mean, Davidchenko, he's built.
And I think that could be a good fight. Berlanga versus Deryanchenko, whatever weight they make it, that could be a good fight for Berlanga. I mean, remember, he's coming off a knockout loss. He hasn't fought since. He's gonna need someone like like trying to match him well, because at the end of the day, they ain't gonna feed him no tuna can, So he's gonna get matched up pretty well, and it's gonna be a pretty hard fight for him too. I would think that'd be a good fight though.
Yeah, but Davidchenko's too small, man. I mean, he's on the shorter side. I mean, he was able to.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if they make a 168 division, then I would think that could be a fight they can make. But if they don't make it, then yeah, he'll probably go to 160. If not, I think that's a better, because 160 they'll have like Callum Walsh and the other dude right there. They have a couple of people there. I mean, yeah, it'd be tough fights for him there too. And 40 years old, you're fighting youngsters. These young guys right here. It's gonna be a tough outing for someone like him too.
Yeah, man, but Davidchenko's a little blockhead. The guy looks like the Frankenstein monster from the 40s movies. But he's got a big head and he can take shots. But he's been through the ringer now, 40 years old. And if he were to take on a big dude like Berlanga, I don't know. Obviously, I don't see him winning. But imagine he makes Berlanga look bad, because I mean, it doesn't take much to make Berlanga look bad nowadays. So we'll see what happens. And we got Telkines jumping in, the one, the only Telkines, the jack of all trades, as I like to call him. Telkines, are you there? No, I can't hear Telkines. All right. We'll try to get his thoughts on these fights as soon as possible.
It's a phrase.
Telkines, are you there? Oh, he's still muted. Shout out to Recognize in the chat. Shout out to Recognize. I got my money on Olmanchenko over Bomlanga. Oh, there you go. So that we know what Recognize thinks about Berlanga right there. Jacques Cousteau says Chenko last fought Munguia at 168. Oh, he got stopped. I forgot he fought Munguia at 168. That's right. Oh, no, he didn't get stopped. He gave Munguia hell. Although he did get hurt in the last round. Jacques Cousteau says Chenko's last fight was at 168. There you go. So if he moves up 2 more pounds, that's a light heavyweight. And I think he would be undersized, man, against Berlanga.
Yeah. He's already undersized at 168, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird signing, but I mean it's on par with what Zuffa TKO's been doing lately. Some of their signings, so we'll see what happens, man. Telkines, are you there? Fuck, he just left. All right, I don't know what's going on. Maybe he can't hear me or something. Maybe his device is malfunctioning.
You seen that it's his balls. They're short circuiting and they're retreating back into his stomach.
No.
You seen that? You seen that movie Starship Troopers, right?
Yes.
You know, at the end when Neil Patrick Harris has his hand on the big brain bug, and he goes, "It's afraid." That's Telk jumping on StreamYard right now. He was trying to come off mute, but his finger was shaking too much, and it just hit the exit button instead of the unmute.
Are you you're really suggesting that he's frightened of you? If that's the case, how is this fight ever going to come up?
It's not. That's why he's going to get banned from the BDA server. That's why he's trying to hype himself. I put him in a position in a lose-lose situation, right? So either you get a little bit of respect, I whip your ass, or you do the same fuck shit you always been doing, pretending like you want to fight somebody, and you get kicked out. You get tell you to fuck off for your discrepancies and your misbehavior.
Well, let's get
a little mystery and ass.
Yeah, let's get round one into this. Round one. How much do you weigh? You wanna go at it with Sobers in a boxing match? That's another no. Nobody wants to fight you, Sobers.
It's also afraid.
I might have to jump in there and show you a lesson or two. I can show you a couple of things, Sobers, not for nothing. You can learn a couple of things from me. And I'll take it easy on you too.
Yeah, so a couple of things you want to show me, keep them in your pants, okay?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We got Telkines back on. Telkines, can you hear me? Are we having issues here or what's going on?
I was just having one of those. I think it was trying to link it out through the Discord, so I had to back out of that original link, and I had to copy and paste it into Google.
I tell you, StreamYard is a big. Yeah, it's a big. I dislike StreamYard, but I wanted to get your thoughts on Nakatani versus Inoue. Very interesting.
That can be a bit cryptic.
Yeah. Well, very curious.
I believe he's gonna use his reach, his height and reach to frame Inoue. He has the power to keep Inoue off of him. So, and Inoue's not as big as Nakatani's last opponent, so I'm not really expecting that much physicality. And yeah, that's my prediction. Nakatani by decision.
Interesting. You're going for the underdog. Do you? I don't think I've actually ever asked you this, but do you place wagers, official wagers on these fights, or?
Yes. So
you're banking on the underdog here, and I think it's about a 4-1 underdog, if I'm correct, right?
Never seen a winning bet slip.
Yeah, I mean Nakatani is actually a good underdog, bro. Like he has the skill, he has the power, and he's not a bum.
And what about Benavidez versus Ramirez? How does that one go?
Yeah, that's a catch-22 right there, bro. Benavidez, I'd say Benavidez by decision. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Zurdo got the nod.
Interesting. All right, so you're not fully going all the way with the underdogs for tomorrow. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not fully in because like Zurdo has his skill limitation, right? So taking that under consideration, that's the reason why I have Benavidez.
Interesting. Well, I tell you, all I'm hoping is for good fights tomorrow because I've had it with these Badoink fighters, the ass fighters, the back foot. I've had enough of them. I want to see good, solid, old school boxing. That means boxing with technique, but with a little bit of panache behind those punches. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. We've been on for close to 3 hours here.
It, man. He's the guy that saved us from last year, I believe.
That's right. Yeah, well, after the Canelo fight and then the debacle there with the City of Wolves.
Fucking Friday fuckery over there. Saved us from all of that.
There you go, yeah. By the way, we fight all night in the chat says BDA just use OBS. Yeah, I'm using OBS, but it's just when I use StreamYard in the mornings to get different types of people that normally don't use Discord that we then stream through OBS. But I tell you who I have on the line on Discord here at Telkines is Never Sobers. And he was telling me earlier that there seems to be a little bit of strife between you two. And I know that you're not one to back out of a fight or back off from what your beliefs. You always defend them to the core. But so I'm really curious to hear your version of what happened here between you and Sobers.
Oh, the thing that happened between Sobers and I
That's right.
is he wanted to bring up some things that happened about 2 years ago, and he was loud capping, and now he has to face the consequences.
He was what?
And yeah, he was loud capping.
Oh, loud
You know,
capping.
he was
Okay.
yes, and he wanted to bring up you know, injuries and stuff like that. Well, he hardly knows any of that shit because he's hardly pushed himself like that, bro. He hasn't even boxed in over 10 years.
I will say that when I met Sobers, he didn't really know much. Now that he's been hanging around with me, I think a little bit of my wisdom is rubbing off on him. So I think he knows quite a lot now. But you're saying that he started going after you loud capping, which, by the way, I just looked it up, to spill someone's secrets allowed to put someone on blast. Sobers, is that what you did? Did you put
that was when you read out the definition like that, yeah.
Interesting. Maybe because
you know, he wanted to be a little troll. He got caught red-handed. I told him, you know what? You know, I was always nice to you, even though I never made fun of you. Even when that fat bitch broke your heart. Get the people ready, BDA. Even when that broke your heart, right? I didn't call you out on it. I didn't make you fun. I didn't make fun of you or getting cucked by the Phantom.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you absolutely want to turn face, bro. You want to turn face, so now you're gonna get it, bro. July 4th.
You're gonna
get it, bro. And you better prove that you're above 200 pounds. You better not be 180 pounds.
You see him, he's looking for a way out, BDA. He's praying to God that I'm not a little fat boy. I'll show BDA. I'll get on the scale right now. It's not hard to prove. So then after that, what's your excuse? Because you're going to look for another one. We're around the same age, so you can't use the same excuse that you used on Black and Brown that he's too old. So you're going to have to fake another injury.
No, we're not faking injuries over here, bro. Yeah, but something happened over there at the Discord yesterday. That was kind of funny. All because of the Nakatani prediction. I got kicked out of the Boxing Voice Discord, bro.
Oh.
But I got some other channels in order to get through the Nest. So all is good. All is good.
Wait. So just because you picked Nakatani, they booted you? What?
Yeah, I got banned out of their Discord for picking Nakatani.
You didn't? Are you
There's
sure?
Some Nakatani fanboys are moderators.
You didn't do anything else. You just picked Nakatani and boom, they kicked you off.
Oh, yeah. Inoue fanboys being moderators, bro. I don't know, bro.
I wouldn't necessarily.
They're starting to become the new Haney fans, bro.
It's interesting. I don't necessarily associate Boxing Voice with Inoue fans. Yeah, usually when I think of Boxing Voice, I think Haney fans. But I don't Inoue fans. I don't know.
Yeah, there's been a rise in Inoue fans over there in that community.
Now, let me ask you this, man. I know you're a jack of all trades. You do it all. And when it comes to the fighting, you know, you've shown some shadow boxing. You got snap on your shots. We haven't really seen much of Sobers, even though he's posted some content on his own channel. Are you going to be studying that footage that Sobers has posted and really try to analyze it and in preparation for this fight?
Yeah, I mean, all I see him is on the back foot with his guard wide open, like he's not even boxing. And I'm going to expose that. I'm going to pick him apart. I'm going to knock him out in the first round. And I'm going to knock him through the ropes.
First round knockout. You're not even going to punish him like...
I hope they have some type of padding outside the ring to catch your silly ass.
Oh. So you're not even going to try to punish him like Chavez did against Haugen back in 93 or 92, I forget which year, where he said, you know, I could have knocked you out in the first, but I want to prolong.
I mean, I would want to punish him like Matthias did Maxim Dachev, but
come on, man, come on. What's going on here? Sobers, he says he wants to end you. He could end you if he wanted to.
Yeah, seeing is believing, so you got to make a believer out of me, bro. I'm from that part of Georgia where you're going to have to show me. Right. And I know you're full of shit, so it's just funny hearing you talk shit, bro, because the closer we get,
yeah. I know you're full of shit and you're not even 180 pounds, bro. You're a little man.
You see how he's praying?
And
See how
if
he's
you
praying
even
for me
have the
not to beat
balls
on
to
weight?
show up, if you even have the balls to sign up, you're gonna get chinned.
We don't gotta sign up, bro. They do the sparring right before the day before. We don't gotta spend no money, bro. We just pull up. Actually, we're closer to each other than we are to Orlando. You know that, right? So we don't even have to do that. We can just drive somewhere and go to the
Don't you
gym.
want
You can do the
witnesses,
gym.
bro? Don't you want witnesses?
Yeah, there'll be a camera. There'll be a camera. I'm sure BDA will play it if we record it, right? So I'm not worried about that. There'll be plenty of people to watch afterwards. But yeah, we don't even have to spend the money, bro. You know, you're in what, Tennessee or South Carolina?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Is that right?
Bro.
Okay. Yeah, bro. I'm in
Yeah.
Georgia. I'm in like North Georgia, bro. We could both drive like an hour and a half, meet at a gym, and handle it. So what's up? We don't got to spend no money. We don't got to wait till July. We could do that this weekend. We could do it next weekend. What's up?
It's calling you out for next weekend, Telkins.
You wanted the witnesses, bro. You wanted witnesses.
Yeah,
so
there will be plenty.
we're gonna have a lot of witnesses.
I'll
Live stream
BDA,
for you with
BDA,
the
will you give me
maximum amount of
permission to
eyes
live
on
stream
you.
that shit off your channel? So
Absolutely.
there could be more eyes on it?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Let's do it
perfect.
live. We can do it live, yeah.
We can live stream it on BDA off
You
the
want
Discord,
eyes
so
on the
there
channel,
you
bro?
go. Yeah, on BDA's channel. Don't worry about mine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put you down in front of witnesses, boy.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna take you behind
I'm
the
being
bar
serious.
like old
What's
Yeller.
up? Are you down to do that, or are you gonna still bullshit until July?
Wait, so
Are you gonna bullshit until July?
Oh, I'm gonna knock you out.
Go ahead,
July
BDA.
4th.
What are you gonna say?
Telkins, what would you say is your best punch?
My corkscrew uppercut.
A
Left hand.
corkscrew uppercut. There you go. That's a dangerous punch right there, especially in the forehead. I don't know why that always seems like it hurts. Sobers, what would you say is your best punch?
Left foot.
Left hook. You know, usually when people ask me, what's your best punch? And I always say, whichever one I throw. How about that? Whatever one I want to throw. Whichever one I want to hit you with. That's going to be my best shot. But yeah, it's interesting. So we got left hook versus corkscrew uppercut. I mean, that's going to be an interesting one. I got to tell you.
We should make a BDA belt.
Yeah, we should be. I have been. We have been working on it. Buchus got a couple of designs. I've had a couple of designs. I think we're gonna do a BDA belt and send it to the winner. But this fight has to happen, though. It has to happen. Cloudy Boxing in the
Yeah,
chat.
so we don't gotta wait. We don't gotta wait till July. We can wait a week. We can wait 2 weeks. What's up?
No, we gotta wait because we need the belt.
That's really irrelevant. The belts don't matter. BDA already said that. The belts don't matter. So
That's true. Hey! What about the sanctioning fee? If
I mean, unless if you want to put together a BDA card and we can freaking run it up, bro. I mean, what do you think, BDA?
no, there's no BDA cards. There's no waiting. Pussy, I'm not gonna let you put this off for half a fucking year because I don't feel like talking shit to you to know that you're not gonna show up for fucking 3-4 months.
I know
So
for
you're
a
trying to
fact
get
I'm
that
gonna
done or
show
not?
up, but
You don't have to keep talking to me about
Black
this
and
fucking
Brown's
shit. So I
little
can just go ahead and down
buddy,
your
bro.
bitch ass.
Your best friend ducked
Stop
me,
stuttering when you
bro,
talk to me, faggot.
under multiple occasions.
Stutter when you talk to me,
So
faggot.
the apple does not fall far from the tree, bro.
Don't stutter when you talk to me, faggot. Are you down or not? Because you're full of shit right now to me, bro.
Well, it sounds to me like you're nervous.
It sounds
So
like you're scared.
I
It sounds
suggest
like you're
you back
stuttering.
out and acknowledge me as the great one.
BDA, do you hear this guy? He's looking for a way out.
He's
He's looking for a way out. Hey,
you refer to me as
I'm
the
not
great.
giving this retard a way out. I'm not giving this retard a way
Well, it
out.
seems to me like you're looking for a way out. Oh, come and spar me in Georgia. Freaking soft ass.
Well, let me read a couple of comments here from the chat. Let's see what the people are saying.
They don't gotta be no headgear. They don't gotta be no headgear, bro.
Let me hear what the people are saying. Always interesting what the people say here. Gerson Medina says, put the sparring footage for us in the audience to analyze BDA. Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm going to be putting all of that on the internet if this fight comes into fruition. B-Way says, live from the Lord Lizard parking lot. No, they're not going to fight there, I don't think.
No, perfect. Yes. At a rest stop. It'll be real fucking ghetto. Just like, I'm a little ghetto, and I know Telkin is like some kind of white trash, so he's some kind of Euro trash. So yeah, it'd be fitting.
Why not do it at the same taqueria where Devin Haney fought most of his fights over in Mexico? Cloudy Box.
Hey, this is gonna have more eyeballs than the Devin Haney fight.
No, absolutely, yeah, for sure. Cloudy Boxing says Solvers versus Telk analysis. Oh yeah, people want a film analysis. Absolutely. Iceman says BDA on the level of Inoue. Just about. That's why I don't spar anymore. Gene Ryu says the WBDA belt are the fees 50%. We Fight All Night says absolutely. Lois asked a good question. He's saying, Telcast, I'll ask you first. Who's the A side in this bout? That's what Lois is asking.
It's definitely me who's the A side. This clown hasn't boxed in over 10 years.
Sobers, I'm gonna go.
Even if I haven't fought in 10 years, bro, more people know me than they know you. And I'm gonna have to. I know I'm the A side because I'm gonna have to force you into this.
And you haven't even sparred in 10 years, bro.
Okay, so it should be easy, right? It should be easy, right?
You're gonna get beaten up, bro. I'm gonna destroy you. I might even just do you a mercy and smash your orbital bones.
Oh,
like Canelo did to beat Billy Joe.
Yeah, but you're full of shit, bro. You're gonna be a little pussy, and you're not gonna show up. That's what, bro. That's what I'm saying.
You're the one who's gonna look like a mongoloid.
We can just do this next week so I can fuck you up.
I'm doing you a
Put
mercy.
it on camera real quick. Make a highlight video.
I'm gonna give you a facelift.
Or you don't show up and I just get you the fuck out of here and we don't gotta put up with your faggot ass edgelord shit no more.
Well, you're the one who wants to.
I don't want to give this pussy.
And say,
I don't want to give this pussy.
If you
2 more months,
if you don't show up, you're banned from here and all this other shit.
You are banned, but you are gonna be banned. I'm gonna
want to make silly ass rules.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I know you wanted to use your moderator.
Hold on, I agreed to meet you somewhere, and you're asking for proof of weight.
To ban me out of BDA Discord. Let's talk about that.
I am going to. Yes, I'm going to. When you
all
don't show up,
you're a softie,
when you
bro.
don't
You
show up,
take the smoke.
when you don't show up, you're getting banned because you're a pussy. Bro. That's going to be the reason.
Will be able
when
to take the
Discord
smoke
asks you what the reason for the ban, I'm
inside
saying
the
for
ring.
being a pussy.
I promise you.
All right, but Telkins, Sobers is saying Sobers
you're gonna be changed forever.
Sobers is saying you saying you're gonna baptize him? Is that what you're saying, Telkins?
I'm sending him to the shadow realm.
But Sobers is saying that if you don't show up, and Sobers, I believe, has moderator status on the Discord. He's saying if you don't show up, you're banned from the BDA Discord, and apparently he's already got you banned from his Discord. So you would be 0-2 when it comes to Discord appearances there.
Well, he wanted to be a softie, and I called him out on his affiliation with the T sector. He didn't like that shit, and he's getting baptized on July 4th. And if I find out he's still 180 pounds, I'm gonna let everyone know that he is loud capping.
Well,
all for clout chase.
Well, and how much do you weigh though? That's the thing I haven't determined here.
I'm 212 pounds.
You're 212 pounds.
Yes.
How come when I look
built
at
like a unit?
Built like a refrigerator unit. I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm surprised because when I look at at the videos of you training and all that, I don't see a 200-pound man.
Yeah, I move quite a bit faster than my trick always was. Just keeping up the same intensity, mixing it up a little bit more because if you punch like a light heavyweight when you're a heavyweight and your cardio is not used to it, but I've always had good cardio in the ring, so.
Well, Sobers,
looking forward to this fight on July 4th.
So Sobers, you said you weigh between 170 and 180 pounds, or like you fluctuate between that weight, or?
No, he said, fight me at 200 pounds. I said, okay, no problem. He's making up this arbitrary number, hoping that's how much I weigh, so he can wiggle his way out of this and say I'm too heavy. No, bro, we're right around the same. I'm 200 pounds. We can fight.
Okay, yeah, okay. Because Telkine said he's.
Send a picture. Send a picture in the Discord, bro, of your weight on the scale.
But
okay, I will.
Are you saying Telkine said you don't believe he's 200 pounds? You think he's below that?
Yeah, bro. I think he is Rumpelstiltskin trying to deal with Godzilla here.
But what does it matter how much? Like he's the one asking for the fight, so it doesn't matter if you're heavier than him or not. You should just say,
I'm
all
the
right.
one who actually dropped the challenge BDA. I'm the one who actually dropped the challenge.
You're the one who dropped the challenge. Okay, hold on. Give me 2 seconds here. Sobers, I'm gonna invite. It's gonna take us to another room here. Hold on a sec. But wait, so let me get this straight. So, Telkans, you're saying you threw down the gauntlet over. Did this happen once he kicked you out of his Discord?
He was loud capping, and then he said, "Well, since we're fighting at a later date, you're banned out of my Discord until after the fight." Those are his words.
Okay, so there's something at stake here. There's something, and there's no catch weight, no rehydration clause, no nothing, right? And there's not even gonna be a fucking weigh-in, right?
There is.
It's not even gonna be a fucking fight because this pussy's just talking shit.
All right.
Well, if he's like 10 pounds over 10 pounds below me, bro, like they're gonna make him fight someone else, bro.
We gotta recognize.
I'm gonna be at 200 pounds, bro. So don't worry about that.
We gotta recognize jumping on the Discord. Recognize you're there.
The loop. What's going on?
Recognize. Recognize. What do you make of all of this?
Sobers against telekinesis, whatever his name is.
Telkan, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I got my money on Sobers, man.
Is that right?
Yeah. Sober got hands, man.
Well, you haven't seen Telkans though sparring. I mean,
I've seen him. No, I've seen him spar before. He's pretty good, but I'm thinking I'm going with. I think Sobers could get underneath his punches, work the body, tire him out late, and maybe even drop him.
Oh. Now, Telkans, that doesn't phase you, right? Like you're used to criticism, like that doesn't change your mindset.
Oh yeah, I'm used to people with their opinions. I mean, respect you recognize, but in all reality, how is Sobers going to get through my beautiful foot feints? How is he going to deal with my upper body movement? How is he going to deal with my Philly shell? How is he going to deal with my range? How is he going to deal with my scythe-like hook as I pivot off my front foot? How is he going to deal with my body work? He's going to be hurt, and I'm going to break him in the first round on July 4th.
I have to recognize, because Telkans is very confident, Sobers is very confident as well, and Telkans is talking first round knockout. What happens if he doesn't knock him out in the first round? Do you think that could be a detriment to him? Like, like when Holyfield said he had a dream he was going to stop Lewis in the third round or fifth round or whatever, I forget. And then he went all out in the fifth round, and then he did knock him out, and it's almost like, oh shit, I guess it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? Do you think that could be a detriment to Telkans if Sobers makes it past the first round?
I think predictions can hurt the fighter if he doesn't get it. It's not that he can't win. It's just that psychologically it starts messing with him. So if he doesn't get what he promises, he might start doubting himself in the middle of the fight, and that might work against him. And
I believe in my skills. Recognize. You don't have to worry about that. I believe in my skills.
What I'm saying is,
theoretically, I grace him with a couple more rounds. He's going to see that, and everyone's going to see that there is a big gap in class. I'm on the top of the mountain, and Sobers isn't even at the base. You guys don't get it.
Well, maybe we will get it come July or June or whenever you guys are gonna fight. Because I mean, it's if it's gonna be filmed.
Is this an official? Is it official? These guys are gonna fight?
Well, I mean, Sobers doesn't believe it.
Oh, where's it gonna be at?
I don't know. Apparently, Telkans lives in.
It's going to be Orlando, Florida, School of Hard Knocks in Castleberry, Florida, bro.
Castleberry.
Wait, where are you gonna put the sparring session up on Patreon or something?
No, round one. It ain't gonna be no sparring session. It's gonna be a real fight, man.
Oh well, where are you gonna put that up at? Patreon or something?
Right here, live, man.
No,
right
this is on Border Wars 19, bro. The boxing voice.
No, this faggot just wants to lie for 2 months, bro. Just show up next week, bro.
Damn, if I'm not doing anything, I might have to drive up to Castleberry.
Isn't
You
there
know
a...
what's gonna happen?
It'd
I
be
know what's gonna
great to
happen.
see
I'm
you
gonna end up leaving out a
recognize.
recognized because this faggot's not gonna show up. That's all that's gonna happen.
So we got Sobers versus Telkines taking place in Dingleberry, Florida. No, I'm kidding. It's not Dingleberry, but yeah, but Telkines, Sobers is saying why not next week?
Sobers is. I want him to have time to prepare his body at heavyweight.
I'm not gonna train. I'm not here to train for you.
Because he showed, because I know he's a softie right now. So if he has some training behind him, maybe he'll have some punch resistance. So when I hit him with the jab, he might not go out unconscious. Right. I want him to be the best fighter he can be come July 4th. Not a soft version at the very beginning. I want to give him a solid training camp, so there's no excuses on July 4th.
But I mean, yeah, it's a long time away. I mean, we got all of the month of May and then all of June. You say, but by the way, what is this going to be? 4-rounder, 6-rounder?
A 3-rounder. Amateurs are 3-rounders.
Sobers? Or do you think about the length of this bout?
I don't think Telkines can go. I think he has a run and a half in him, to be honest.
All right, so
I'm telling you, look, I don't need to train. I'll just show up, dude. We can do this shit next week. I'll whoop your fucking ass either way.
Well,
that's why I don't want to give you.
Yeah,
I don't want to give you.
Yeah, but you need to travel down the Yellow Brick Road and also go by Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. You have it.
Shut the fuck up for a second, retard. This faggot wants to LARP like he's a fighter for 2 months, BDA. He's gonna be jacking off, thinking about it, talking about it. He's not about it, bro. He's full of shit, dude. That's why I'm forcing your hand, bitch. That's why you're gonna get fucking banned, and we're not gonna have to hear your stupid ass no more after this. Okay?
Well, the thing I was asking was, is this foul? What limit is this bout going to be set in? 4 rounds? Like Telkan said, 3 rounds. Sobers, are you down with
your bout for 3 rounds for 3 minutes? They might even do 2 minutes. Who knows? But I think that's a fucking novice.
BDA, what if it's a draw? What happens then?
Then they both get banned from the Discord. Then
I fucking kill myself.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm telling you, 3 rounds.
Yeah, what if Sober pisses me off and I headbutt him and I get disqualified?
No, well, no, yeah, that's also a disqualification from the Discord.
He's already looking for ways out, bro.
Because I do like doing Thai boxing, mixing Thai boxing in with my boxing. Wink, wink. So I'm not fucked up with throwing an elbow.
How about look? This is look. He's trying to make up these scenarios where he's like, well, I mean, technically, what if I head kick him and I knock him out? Do I still lose? Like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that, right? Let's play hypothetical. You do something
I know more of the history of boxing. I know the good Thai boxing as well. So I'm gonna outslick you. And if you eat a headbutt or elbow,
I don't want to wait too much.
That's just.
I really don't.
Who has the smoke alarm thing there in the back where the battery's running out?
Who needs to change the batteries in the smoke alarm?
Yeah, no, it's not. I know people like to wisecrack about that, but it's no joke, man. I mean, you need a good a smoke alarm to install in your domicile. Otherwise, things could go wrong very quickly. Believe me, it doesn't take much to burn the place down. It doesn't take out. Check out the Great White Concert, that tragedy there with the fire, and look how quickly all of that went up in flames. So please, everybody out there, safety first. We advocate fire safety here. That's primordial and paramount here over at the BB Boxing Arena. And also, don't talk to strangers. Shout out to Nightmare for his contribution with the super chat, extending his membership program. Shout out to Nightmare, and he says, hold on a second, let me put it up on the marquee here, front and center, prime time. I got my money on Sobers by first round knockout. We also need someone in the crowd wearing BDA memorabilia. Oh, well, that wouldn't be a bad idea. That'd be good promotion. But he said, shout out to Nightmare for reestablishing his membership program. And
maybe I'll just show up with CCD apparel, right? And I might throw BDA a shout out.
Hey, I want to get some CCD apparel.
Send me a shirt. And I'll do a walkout.
Make that organization look like shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it, bro. I'm the one with the plan, bro.
Yeah, keep stuttering, bitch.
I'm the one who's gonna be looking sharp walking out. You're gonna be looking like you walked out of a sporting goods store.
Just remind people what happened between you and Black and Brown. Why didn't that bout? It was a planned bout, right? Why
He
didn't that?
purposely challenged Bracken Brown, knowing that he was too old for him technically to fight. So he was running around with that. That was his victory. That's what I'm saying. He tried
Well, that's what Ness said, that the rule is the 10-year
That's why
rule.
he's hoping that I'm.
I didn't know until afterwards that Black and Brown was like 45, bro.
Sure you did.
Right?
In fact.
And
And
how old
that's
are-
when I went back to Ness, and Ness told me no. Right?
Sure you did, in fact.
Well, how old are you,
That's why have to, like,
Telkins?
I am 31.
31. So a
He's
14-year
on his
difference.
prime. That's a prime right there.
That's yeah. He's right. He's at the peak of his.
Yeah,
peak.
you're at your prime. You're 31. Yeah.
To be 31 again. But I'll say this, Telkins.
You got to be like me. I'm ageless.
There you go. You're immortal. But Sobers, have you ever divulged your age, or I don't know if you want to divulge it now or whatever? Yeah.
Close enough.
Was that?
We're extremely close in age.
Oh, okay. So there's no problem there. Okay, fantastic. That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to hear. So a 14-year difference, that was enough to disqualify you from fighting Black and Brown, Telkins. That's like in the amateurs, I guess. I guess they're following the same rules.
So Ness from, I guess, the boxing voice, he said, "Nah, I can't have you beating up on an older man." Is that what it is?
Well, I guess I think they're following it because it's the same thing in the amateurs.
What it is, those are the rules. Those are the official rules. So they're trying to do it through the amateur boxing athletic commission now, right? So it's like trying to be official. So it'll go on a record, on your amateur record, if you fight on there now. So they do have official rules for, like, hey, if he's in the Masters, I think technically over 40 you're in the Masters, so you can't fight with someone that's like in the seniors, the level below you in age.
Yeah, so he'll disqualify me, right? Because I'll be too old. He'll be like, "Get out of here."
So Telkini did that on purpose, because I remember when he called into the boxing voice, he asked him like 8 times. So you sure? Like, and that's why he's doing the stupid shit with me asking to prove my weight.
Nah, you're just mad because Black and Brown's your boy, and I didn't even call in up there. I actually called up there once, and then I DM'd him the rest of the time. So I already know that you don't know shit about what you're talking about, bro.
There's no way out this time.
I told him if it was cool to do a content creator clash. He said cool. But when I went to inquire more about the situation, that's when he told me no. That's all. You want to overcomplicate it because you're a clown and you're going to get chinned.
Oh, shit.
And you're going to have no excuses. I'm going to rip out your tongue. I'm going to rip out your heart. And I'm going to burn it right in front of everyone.
What's the matter with you?
I gotta tell you, recognize it's getting heated. It's getting heated up, man.
I understand they want to fight. I like this, but
No, this is lukewarm because his faggot's not going to show up.
I don't know. I don't know. Sobers, Telkins looks
I know. He's having the time of his life right now. He's LARPing.
You know why I'm picking Sobers?
LARPing right now.
You know why I'm picking Sobers' videos? I'm picking Sobers because of his calm confidence. Like when he speaks, it's just calm and it's like matter of fact almost. It's like,
Because you see me talking shit to people, right? Recognize, and I get amped up, I get funny. I don't feel like that. I'm not being funny.
yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I like Telkine's terminology. I like the fact that he seems to already have a game plan in mind or multiple game plans. So, I mean, I'm not counting out Sobers. I'm not going against him or picking against him. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't count out Telkine's either. By the way, round 1 is asking, are we going to be using Vita testing? No, man, but let both guys choose. We want them nice and ready, man. We want them on whatever they want to take. I know Sobers likes to dabble in the wacky tobacco. Telkins, I don't know what he does. I don't want to know. That's my thing. I don't want to know what these guys take. Take whatever you want.
It's the same. We both smoke wacky tobacco, bro.
Oh, okay. There you go. Round 1.
There you go.
Round 1. What were you gonna say?
It's a 50-50. It's kind of 50-50 on that because it's like we both smoke, right? But outside of that, we have nothing else in common. My skills and everything else makes me the A side. But outside of that, bro, nothing in common.
Round 1, what were you gonna say?
Oh shit.
Oh man, yeah. About this fight. Yeah, man, we need VADA testing with these guys. Or if we don't, let them take a little bump of cocaine, and that's gonna be 6 rounds right there.
Yeah, I want these guys jacked up, man. I want them ready to go, and I want to see the best fight. I want to see Marcus Pacquiao for that type of fight where both guys are training knockdowns. They're all fucking ripped.
So you want someone to get knocked out.
There you go. There you go.
Sobers is weighing in at
Maybe
205.
Nassim versus Kelly, right? What about Nassim Ahmed versus Kelly? That was a good fight.
So look, there's a proof right there, BDA. So now what's up?
The proof of what?
Sobers.
I'm on the scale. I'll put a picture on the scale right there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you're wearing shoes though, so I don't know if that's, and I don't know if you're wearing jewelry on your.
Take away 3 pounds. Take away 3 pounds.
Okay. Well,
I assume Sobers is naked from the top, right?
No, but yeah, tell people in the chat and tell kinds. Sobers just sent me a photograph that displays him weighing 205. I have to tilt my head. 205 is 205, right? That's what it says.
205.2. Yeah. So let's just say 205.
205. So tell kinds, this guy is indeed in your weight class. He's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
All right. So now he better be able to sign up and do his work, bro. Because there's a $50 registration fee on the Conquer Club app in order to sign up, which is about $58 after taxes. And then, and I know you haven't signed up because nobody has signed up for it yet.
You're not serious.
It has 0 competitors on its log.
So this is what Token needs.
So we're gonna. I'm definitely gonna cook.
Hold on, one at a time. I want to hear Sobers. I want to hear what Sobers. I want to hear
during this fight, bro.
Tell kinds, hold on, one at a time. Sobers, what?
This is what he wants to do. He wants me to sign up. He wants me to pay the money because he's already done this to somebody else. And in the last minute, like in the last couple of days, he's gonna get an injury. So he's gonna try to he's gonna pull out, right? Because he's wasted money before, so he just doesn't show up. And he says, "Oh, I sprained my pussy. I can't show up." And he tries to get the guy to fight somebody else. That's what he's going to try to do. So,
do you even know what costochondritis is, you dumbass? It's the inflammation between the ribs and the sternum.
You know what?
It is a muscle skeletal condition. You fucking weirdo. And it took me a little bit of time yet to recover from, the wear and tear, right? But you have no right as a human being to shit on somebody because of their past injury, bro. That costed me money. On top of that, bro, you're a clown, and you're gonna get put down like a clown on July 4th.
I used to give this retard a pass because I know he's stupid and he's not all the way there, but in reality, he's a good amount.
The only one who's stupid is you, man. You like having control of the narrative. And I promise you don't have control of shit. Because I'm going to rip out your soul, bro. I'm going to torment your soul.
All right, now, can I ask? So
hold on, look. He's a good amount taller than me, BDA, right? So I feel like I can offset him being a retard by giving him, a good amount of size on me. And I'll be fat. I'm overweight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll show up out of shape and I'll whoop your ass, bro.
Well, I'll say this, man. Apparently
bro.
Apparently, so Italcans doesn't show up. Sobers is threatening to ban him from the Discord. Is there any penalty for the loser as well?
No, the loser will get some respect because they showed up. I told Telk, I'll let him back into my Discord if he shows up and fights me, but he won't.
So there's an incentive that Sobers is throwing out there.
I'll let you hang out, bro. I'll get you. You actually earn some respect.
But there's also a part of it that I told you as well. When I beat you, I'm gonna train you like Usyk trains AJ, bro.
You hear this shit?
Are you saying he's just LARPing now and he's enjoying every second of this?
He's LARPing, bro. He's jacking off doing this right now.
No, I'm gonna school you, and then I'm gonna teach you how to box.
Shout out to you guys. BDA, I'm a dip.
He's gonna tell people he knows. I got a fight coming up, Jim.
All right, round one. Thank you for joining, man.
I got a fight coming up, Jim. I got a fight. Hopefully he doesn't pull out, or I don't get injured again. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen, I got to tell you, this has been very exciting, a very exciting end to the morning here. We got Hashi jumping in. Before we go, Hashi, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Have you been listening to this whole saga here ongoing?
I just got here. Where I live at. It's Central Time, so I went to bed late last night.
Is that
So
right? Yeah, huh? Did you have
how long
a
have you been on here?
lady companion, and that's why the night went on too long, or what happened?
No,
Oh, come on.
not sure why you would ask that.
Well, because you said I didn't sleep well. I'm
So
thinking usually when I don't sleep well is because I'm doing a little bit too much work, if you know what I mean, or I'm giving them the work. Ow! But listen, the point is this: we got Sobers versus, because what happened was Hashi, Sobers and Telkines are going at it. Allegedly, supposedly they're gonna fight. Although Sobers believes that that's not gonna happen. Meanwhile, Telkines, that the way he's talking, it sounds like he's all in. Sounds like he wants to go, but evidently not next week. He wants to give Sober some time to train, he says. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But it's on the record now. People want to see it.
I just don't want this faggot LARPing for fucking 2 months, BDA. He's gonna have too much fun with this shit, dude.
There you go.
It's not the point for him to have. It's not the point. Not for him to have fun. He's been having too much fun trolling. That's the whole thing, right? So I'm trying to put the pressure on his ass.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun when you're waking up in the
You're gonna
CCU.
the fuck up.
You're gonna be retarded, bro. After this fight.
Well, listen, we've been on for
I'm
3.5
pretty sure.
hours. We gotta go. I gotta go get some breakfast. But shout out to you guys for joining us. I want to give a shout out to Sobers. I want to give a shout out to Recognize for jumping in on the Discord. Round One, who was here earlier on the StreamYard. Telkines, thank you for jumping in and clearing things up. And I wish you luck in your training. And hopefully we get this bout going, because it's one of those. A lot of times people talk about we're gonna do this. I've yet to see YouTubers
I've
fight.
been begging for someone to let me make a highlight reel out of him in this community, bro.
Well,
Okay.
we'll see if you can make it happen. We'll see. And Hashi, thank you for jumping. Sorry, we had to go. I mean, you jumped in late here. We're at the tail end of the show, but hopefully you can join us if we do another show before the end, before tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Other than that,
Okay.
fantastic. I want to give a big shout out to everybody in the chat. Boxing Chief, shout out to the Chief Rooney, shout out to Fredo, B Wayne, I Am Green. Round One was here as well. HJ or HSJ, Mr. C. Who else was here? Hold on a second. Lloyd or Lloyd? Alejandro Solis, B Wayne, Nightmare. Shout out to Nightmare for reestablishing his membership program as well. Really appreciate it. Jerson Medina, Uncle Bernd Apostrophe, J Will, Blunt Effect, We Fight All Night, Jacques Cousteau. And if I forgot anybody,